That's 17 more squirrels. It won't be a problem.
How many did you say?
17.
That's a light day.
That's why I was asking.
Oh.
They call me Squirrel Killer.
Did you bring out the
I would
bat?
never say that.
Huh?
Did you bring out the bat again?
Slingshot.
Ooh, you're getting good.
Sniping them out of the air. It was really good. When are we starting?
Kevin, are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Did not murder squirrels. Hey,
That was
everybody.
just a joke, guys. It was a fucking prank.
Oh, I'm so funny. So crazy.
You've got squirrel tail on you.
Oh.
Oh,
Shit,
no.
dude. I mean,
Got to another take.
I don't
take. We don't have
No.
rabbit.
We're doing it live. Hey, everybody. Welcome once again to The Critical Miss. I am your host, Matt, also your Dungeon Master, and we are here for Season 2 of Campaign 3 of The Critical Miss.
nope, season 3.
Season 3, Episode 2.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Bam.
Wait, what season?
We're doing it live.
Season 3,
Yeah, season 3.
Episode
It's
2.
on the test.
I'm number 1. Anywho.
For the sake of not being murdered, I agree.
Kevin, if we can just get a quick switch over to Chris here. We actually have some announcements. I didn't do it right last time, so Chris is going to be handling our announcements for us.
Hey,
Chris, take it away.
I didn't do it right.
I didn't do it right. Okay. Just two things real quick. One, by now you've probably seen the awesome artwork that has been come out for our characters for Season 3.
What's this?
You said one.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh.
Right. So
Point to the first.
that artwork is done by the amazing Naomi Butello. I hope I said that correctly, because if not, I apologize.
Buttalo.
No,
I think he was way close.
I think I was probably way closer on that one than you were.
You may not have nailed it, but definitely close.
Just got an email from her. Fuck you guys.
Oh, man. All right, that's all Matt's
But she
fault.
types out how to say it, so it still doesn't help.
Ooh! You might be right, though.
So yes.
Are we not holding up the one?
Oh, right.
Yeah, you can. It's fine.
Nope, we gotta keep count.
So if you want to check out any of her artwork, you can look. You can go to her Twitter. From there, you can find all of her.
It's
other
at
social
Naomi
media.
Does Art. Is that
It is
right?
at Naomi Makes Art.
Makes art. Sorry.
So if you want to check her out, definitely do it. We highly recommend it. As you've seen by our character portraits, she is incredible.
She does some great work.
She does fantastic work. And secondly, if you want to support us with your money, or maybe not with your money, it all depends on you. You can donate to us on Patreon, patreon.com/TheCriticalMiss. You can subscribe to us on Twitch, or you can use that spicy Twitch Prime and subscribe that way and not pay any money. That's the two announcements. They're still holding up
like
the
a
two
third.
fingers.
Oh,
Why is it spicy? What about the Twitch Prime that makes it spicy?
Everything.
The fact that if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, your Twitch Prime subscription is included with the price of it,
Yes.
so you don't have to pay anything.
You get one free Twitch subscription. And I'm not telling you should, but you should use it on us.
Mm-hmm.
And announcement number 3.
Oh,
Happy
there's a
birthday to
third?
The Rock.
Oh,
Yes!
Um,
Happy birthday to The Rock!
I mean,
Dwayne
let's
The Rock
just-
Johnson.
let's just- yeah.
We're all big fans.
Our once and future president.
38 years old.
Dwayne,
Right?
I
Yeah,
know you
it's,
watch it.
28, I thought. No?
I
Can we
don't
get a
even
picture
know.
of the rock, please?
Kill you what?
I'm fairly certain
Thank you,
he's
Christian.
18.
Yeah.
No, wrong Rock.
I guess, Chris, the only question the chat might have is they're asking if Tom is okay. He looks a little strange.
Tom is great. Shut the fuck
Better
up.
than ever. That was very
Maybe
good.
she
Did I do it? Did I do it?
I'm married to a god. Wait, that's not what I do anymore. Yeah, he's fine. Don't worry about him.
Tom will
You know
be
what's gonna be
joining
really
us.
funny? When he joins us, he's gonna be wearing like a penguin suit already.
Oh,
So it's pretty good.
Tom will be here shortly. He's running a little bit late.
Yes.
So Pengu Tom has filled in the meantime.
Raccoon Tom.
And
And he's not at all better than regular Tom.
Yeah, he's a little bit better. He's quieter.
I didn't say it.
he did.
Yeah.
No proof, though.
One more thing before we get started is, obviously we're live tonight. Thank you for joining us. But if for some reason somebody you know wants to catch up on it and they missed the show, Tuesdays on YouTube, the show will be going live at 1 o'clock. You can watch the replay next Tuesday, so you can get caught up before Wednesday's show. Please check it out. It's awesome. If you want to subscribe on YouTube, that's free. So do that.
Just
Can we
remember
get that
that's
one more time? Is that Tuesday at 1?
Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard
It
Time.
only
That's
costs
important.
a piece of your soul.
Yes.
Eastern Standard Time is important.
And one last announcement. Tomorrow is my birthday. That's not a joke. I have a birthday right after the rock. I'm not saying I'm right there next to the rock, but
He's right there
now.
next
All
to
I
the
want for my birthday is for you guys to subscribe on Twitch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
now you
Wow.
can't say no.
38 years old.
Why do I? I'm 38 years old,
38.
and hey, I
Kicking
mean,
strong.
still feeling like I'm 7.
You were born in the same.
7 or 7D.
That's yep.
For you to
Depending
decide.
on my brain is 7, my body is about 70.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But
With that,
with that, I believe that's everything taken care
That was
of.
everything for this
my
week.
constitution is also a 7.
So now, let's talk a little bit about where this colorful cast of characters wound up last week. Yes. Colorful meaning mainly reds and pinks
Hey.
and
You know, I didn't get
oranges.
the memo. He came in late.
Black. What are you doing now?
I'm not gonna.
He's got some. red
Raucous
that
wouldn't
doesn't
wear
really-
colors.
Raucous is a whole color.
Yeah,
that's
he's-
true.
I bring the color with my charming personality.
And
Absolutely.
the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that.
Now, is it really red or is that just a lot of blood you're covering?
Yeah. Is it?
No, he's red.
Oh. Okay.
But the blood doesn't hurt.
No, no, no. It only adds to it.
That's how the palms stay red.
Where do we leave off?
Where do we leave off? So you guys
That's what-
at the
usually we-
at the end of last episode, you guys had woken up on a beach after a terrible attack on a ship that was transporting you all to South Dawn. You salvaged some of the wreckage, you managed to find some survivors, and then eventually you forged ahead down a hallway leading into a cave. On your way through the cave, you encountered some traps, some, you know, some would say deviously planned, masterfully crafted traps.
Something.
I've heard that before.
So they just stretch out and say that?
Yeah, they would say, "Oh wow, whoever came up with that trap is brilliant."
About 1 in 7 would say that.
Yeah, specifically 1 in 7, 1 in 6, and a penguin costume. You all made it past the traps with some ease. Some of you a little bit worse for wear than others. Eventually found your way into a main room where you encountered 4 mimics disguised as trophy stands or armor stands, weapon stands.
Never saw that coming.
Defeated them fairly handily. Took a little bit of damage, but sorted everything out. Phelan, after the fight, was inspecting a wall and found a crack in it, which led to...
You found a kraken?
Yes, a crack in it.
Not again.
Krakenette? Is that like a girl kraken?
Yes.
I'll be here all night, guys.
We know, we're well aware.
Until tomorrow, which is my birthday.
We're stuck with him here.
Checking out the chest, you managed to find a couple nice pieces of items, which you've attuned to after a short rest, and that's kind of where we left off.
And the gold.
Well, yeah, you found a nice amount of gold. Found a dwarven hack blade.
Yeah,
You also found Cutthroat, which was a very nice silver dagger, which Xanier held on to. You found the gold, and you found a set of 4 books written in Dwarven that you can recognize the symbols of, but you can't read. You guys took a short rest in order to gain some health back
Yeah, I
and
should do that.
kind of maybe check out some of the new items and weapons you were using, or you found, and that's where we left off. So, we join our heroes now, back in this small, surprisingly well-lit cave. The bodies of 4 mimics strewn across the floor, one of them still cackling with fire, or crackling with fire. Because if you don't remember, Phelan did work with her green flame blade.
Green flame. Fucking killed him.
And that's where you are. You guys have been resting for about an hour now.
Yep.
Bandaged some wounds. You notice there's, some pretty significant damage done to your legs, Garrett, because you were standing in a pool of acid.
Uh-huh. That's fine.
But you managed to take
myself
care of that.
Should I take the bodies of the mimics off so it's less cluttered, or?
I mean, you can. They still have some stuff on them.
Oh, okay.
So in
Then
case
I will
people
not.
want to check it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think those were looted last time. I think you guys just.
I thought we
kinda-
took the armors off.
We gave the armor. We
Oh
gave
yeah,
the
you
armor
did.
to
You took.
the-
You did. You found
to the non-combatants.
3 sets of like ceremonial armor that were
Yeah.
given to the non-combatant
Yeah, we gave it to the
non-combatants of the
captain,
group.
the
So
pirate guy,
yeah,
and
we can take those off for now.
Just so
Remove.
they have some line of
Science.
Science. Science be praised. Yeah. So the floor is yours. Who would like to do what?
All right.
Go ahead, take the floor then.
I just take the whole floor and leave.
I already took it.
All right, everyone makes.
Critical miss. The floor
Stealing
struck back.
checks.
Yeah. So
Well, I do believe most of us gave up our gold to the captain. Most of us, because
I believe we wanted to have a
deeper,
deeper
Oh,
conversation
if you like
about
that,
that.
yeah, if you
That's
like
where
that.
that's
That's
right
where
where
we
we left
left
off.
Would you like to discuss the goal?
What's to discuss? Hold on, give me.
Well,
I gotta gather my
You
voice.
gotta get that
Well,
accent.
to recap, we were discussing how much to cut
Yeah,
the captain in on the goal.
I had given my share voluntarily.
Look, the man lost his ship. I think he deserves some gold. That's all I'm saying.
Do you? So no one else needs any. It's just me.
I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, this is
I shrink into the wall.
Look,
this is more gold than I've seen in my life.
Fine.
you can take it. No judgment.
No, I
But a little judgment. Little judgment,
It
but
sounds
no
like you're
judgment.
having a little judgment there.
Let's let it be fair.
Minx, Minx at this point, he kind of steps forward, and he says, "Please, I appreciate the gesture, but I cannot take this. This is, I'm doing nothing here. What happened on this sea was not your fault, and it was not your fault.
It was not yours either.
That is the risk of being a captain.
Well, none of us lost everything. None of us lost our entire lives.
I did not lose everything. I lost my ship, and this is very sad, but I will be okay. You are doing a great thing here." And he motions to the young woman holding the child, and he says, if anything, she who lost her husband, that would be more worthy.
That makes a point.
When he says that, how does the woman react?
The woman has been in a state of general shock. I noticed it as soon as I said it. The woman has been in a state of shock since the incident.
The major
She is kind of just going through the motions right now. She's listening to what you guys tell her to do, but you can see she's vacant. 1,000-yard stare, kind of really not paying attention to much.
Alright, well, we can do one of two things. We can sit here and worry about divvying up the gold now, or we can continue on and get the hell out of here, and then worry about that later when we're someplace safe.
Vander kind of hobbles forward, the pirate who was with you guys. He says, "I like that option."
The more time we waste here, the more these people are in danger. We need to get a hop, skip, and a jump out of here.
I agree.
Hold on to that gold for now.
So, which route we taking? We got a couple options.
You do. When you look, you do see 2 separate exits from the current cave that you are in. One on the northern wall, one on the western wall.
If I could try to recall, I do believe the rock formation that I can assume was an exit of some sort would probably be closer to the northern wall, like in that direction, from where we came into the cave.
Make an intelligence check.
Easy enough. Oh wait, I'm not a wizard. It's a +1, not a +5. That's okay. That's a 15.
15. Yeah, it was more. If you were looking straight and that was due north, it would be more northeast than it would be west.
Okay.
The exit that you saw.
So the northern path definitely leads more inland, and I think that's our best shot. Staying on the coast and going towards the west might not necessarily grant us any particular advantage in getting out of the scenario.
But what is in or through the other path? Maybe we should check.
We don't even know if it turns. Could make a left. What's in there? Could go straight down into the acid pit. I look back at the hallway. Anthony DM.
When you say the acid pit and you look back, you just hear a bubbling.
Hold it back. Belgamy, hold out.
Are you trying to fight an acid pit? Yes. Yes, I am.
Hold my armor. Going in.
That's all I'm going to say. I think our best shot is going towards the Northern Passage. Worst case scenario, if it does twist and turn, we turn back around. If it goes too far.
Leon's gonna go up to that entranceway.
Okay.
He's gonna take out his mace and like slam on the wall and yell, "Hey, any jabronis in here? Any traps? Hello!"
Happy birthday, Rock.
Make a perception check.
Oh,
He
nice.
said jabroni.
16.
16. Listening in after you make your noise, you clatter the mace against the wall. You scream out your nonsense. And
Accurate.
no discernible response.
It's all clear.
They're both dark, right? Those rooms? We can't see
The
them?
hallways heading. This room is well lit,
Okay.
so the dim light extends about 10 feet down each hallway,
Okay.
but not really much. Not
Does-
really much you can see.
Does it echo when he hits the wall?
It does.
I'm going to go towards the northern entrance,
Okay.
and I'm just going to cast light
Okay.
down the hallway, see what I see.
Okay. So you make your way over here. Ah, damn it. You head towards that other hallway.
Keeping clear of the actual entranceway. I don't know if it's trapped
Oh
or
yeah,
anything.
that's why I didn't
And
take
what
a
are,
step.
what are you doing?
Casting light, just
Casting light?
throwing the globs
Okay.
down.
You extend your hand and 4 little orbs of light make their way down the hallway.
That's dancing lights. Light is.
Oh, light is
so it's
centered
on
on
your
a
hand.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
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 I'll pull it
Dancing lights are movable. Light
Yeah.
is
As a professional
on and
mage,
off.
I know
As
which.
a-
Can be
no.
movable, but.
As mage man.
But either way, the light should be enough to give you a kind of idea of what you see.
Would you say it's
Well-
a general idea?
No.
Matt, can you move Ruckus over here as well? Thank you.
What I always-
Xanier's gonna stay behind Leon over here.
What I always say is the only way to know how to do something is to do it. So I say we go down this hallway.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
I don't disagree.
You extend your hand out or
Is there like a small piece of is there a rock or something on the ground?
you see a torch a little bit.
Yeah.
You see a torch a little bit down the way, and you just
Yeah, I do that.
lights
and
up.
Throw it out.
and you see a tunnel extends about 15 feet out ahead of you before it slightly curves off to the right.
All right, this one's looking good so far. That's my best guess here.
Maybe cast some light down this one.
Can't do no harm, but like I said, if he can.
Yeah.
He can also take care of that one as
Did
well.
you,
I mean, it kind of takes the fun out of it, but
did you look up when you looked around before? Did you? I'm sorry.
I
missed
have
it.
not, no.
But
I will now
Yeah,
look up
rock-
as soon as you ask me that
yeah.
question.
Yeah, I want to examine to see if there's another jewel like we saw when we first entered.
In the room.
Yeah, look for the
Oh,
room
okay.
that's on top of the
Go ahead and make a perception check. See if you see anything.
I don't think so.
Can I look as well and help
It's a-
him? 'Cause
it's a
I'm on the
3.
doorway.
You're at the doorway. Sure, you can look. With a 3,
Yeah.
you look up. You just see jagged rocks. You don't really see anything much.
Oh.
Turns out we're in a cave.
19.
With a 19, you kind of take a little bit of a closer look, and you notice that the rocks are somewhat caked in like a layer of dust, almost. And you reach up and you kind of like thumb one to the side, and it was hidden, but you do see now a rune underneath. But unlike the previous one that had been glowing and sort of pulsed whenever someone walked by it, this one is dark. It just looks like it's etched into the stone.
I take like a quick step through it and see if anything happens.
No effect.
I really can't even see what you're.
I
looking
pointed
at.
out to him. Right there. But
It was covered in some dust.
it
That's
looks
why.
dead.
All right.
So I think we're safe.
Um,
Are we gonna?
I guess I'll see him. Oh.
Well, you cast light down this hallway,
Yeah.
this other hallway. So you again do the same thing. You see one of the torches on the wall. You light it up, and you see a hallway over here. It kind of extends a little bit, and then makes a sharp curve right.
We got a bit of a curve down here. I can't see past it. We're gonna have to go inside and check it out.
But you could have just told us to stand up.
Let Kevin stand.
Yeah, no.
You sit in a corner.
The legs.
Should we split the party or?
That's. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, this.
Christopher Titus is dead.
I'm gonna move the penguin.
Baby Sue.
No, God, no, please stop.
Baby penguins.
Baby penguin.
Navy penguin.
Hey, why
I'm
we're in
sorry,
a suit,
what did you
dude?
say? What do you want to do?
I'm just asking if we should split the party or not.
I'm gonna say that's a terrible idea.
I like it.
I know he's.
Efficient. We'll be able to cover more ground more quickly.
I think it's better if we stick together.
I mean, all we did was fight a couple of treasure chests, and he pretty much
Suits of
sneezed and
armor.
killed 2 of them.
Suits of armor.
Oh.
They were suits of armor, first of all.
Is it empty?
Armor things, they were
Second
trash.
of all, me and you, friend, have already taken a little bit of a beating.
I'm fine, actually.
Seems like you've taken a little bit of a beating.
If you need some, if you're hurt, I can heal you. You can just say something. It's okay. There's no shame in it.
You are an interesting fellow.
So we splitting this or what?
No, let's
No,
all go.
I'm hearing a lot of agreement on the splitting.
I don't think anyone's agreed with you,
Raucous ass.
besides the big fella.
I mean, who's gonna disagree with him?
I have openly disagreed with him.
All right, look.
Who's gonna stop him?
Since anyone is the only other person who's shown that she can do anything in a fight, I agree with her now. Let's go.
Huh. Okay.
All right.
Anyway, I'm just gonna
This way.
make sure. I'm just gonna make sure the non-defendable people are.
I'm
ushered
staying with
through,
them. I'm not leaving without them.
Get everyone through and just go.
So which hallway are you guys going down?
That one, the one I'm in front of.
Well, you're heading down that one. Phelan, I know, is staring down this tunnel to the side.
I'm gonna
Side
keep
or-
all
This is
4 of
no
these.
windy door, but I think we should go this way. It's the opposite of the other treasure from the other room. What if there's something cool down here that we need to see or we need to find before we go through? What if there's something that will help us further in the rest of this cavern?
I like your sense of adventure. We are not here to explore. We are here to get these people to safety as quickly as possible.
Well, nothing says your way is safe and nothing says this way is safe. So let's just stick together.
Vander says, to be fair, I mean, this room's pretty safe right now. We could chill here while you guys looked around a little bit.
I will stay with you.
No splitting up?
Well,
You all feel free to move on and check out, and call back when it's clear.
can you watch over Lady Belgamine?
Absolutely.
We have. How about we do a small scouting party, 2 in each hallway. Small checkout. See what's all the hubbub's about.
All right, don't get too crazy.
Whatever the plan is. Let's do something.
The man's name is Raucous. I don't think you have to worry about him being crazy.
What?
No,
Alright.
that checks out.
It was
Yeah.
a joke. Never
Ah.
mind.
Let's just get moving.
Ha!
All right. So who's going down which hallway?
So we've gone from staying together to splitting into
Well,
3.
Careful, small parties.
Awful idea.
Is it too late to
Out
go?
of
Wait,
game.
wait.
Awful idea.
Is it too late? To go,
Yes.
wait.
Yes.
Jesus.
I mean,
They've already
you-
started moving.
You can do it, but
You can say wait if you really want to
Raucous
stop.
looks at Phelan right before they go into their hallways. He's like, don't let any of them die.
Okay.
a lot of pressure.
Xander will join you guys going down this hallway. You guys head
I want
over
that
there. You guys
D-bag
head over there.
with
I would like to keep casting light and look at the walls and the floor as I walk very
Yeah,
carefully.
same.
Sure.
Also, I just let
We
you know
got
I'm
the lights.
patrolling here to here, just back and forth, sword out, just patrolling. No, just walking, just flipping the
marching.
sword around. No, not even marching, just Walking, just
Okay.
casually walking.
You guys take a couple steps down into this hallway. This is Garrett and Raucus. You guys walk
Oh, you're
about.
with me? I thought you were with them.
No.
Nope.
Oh.
You guys walk about 15, 20 feet, and that you get to that curve in the wall. When you get to the curve, I know you said you were looking out. Make a perception check.
I have dark vision, so even if the hallway's
Same.
not lit.
That's true. You can make a perception check as well.
12.
Sure the mic didn't pick that up.
I'm just curious.
What's your perception?
That's a 1.
That's a 1. Got you. Okay. So, Raucus is keeping an eye out. He's, glancing at the walls, at the floor. Garrett is kind of, I guess, predisposed. He's not really comfortable with the situation right now. He's like, I don't know if we should have
I'm a little
split up,
distracted.
and are they going to be all right? And he keeps looking back down the hallway.
Having a conversation here.
Before Raucus's hand on his chest as they keep walking. Raucus, you notice on the ground in front of you, there's one rock that appears to just be about half an inch raised off the ground, sitting in the middle of the hallway.
Step on it. Stop. Do it. Bigfoot.
So I'm gonna stop Garrett.
Yup.
I'm slamming your chest.
Whoa.
That's
Sorry.
a booby trap if I've ever seen one.
I think I zoned out for a second. What happened?
You zoned out. Zoned out for
Where's the little
the
one?
rock. The rock.
It's his birthday today, baby.
What the rock? What's it cooking? Is it pie? It's always pie.
It's gonna be a problem. We need to do that's not untrusted.
I mean, neither do I.
Alright, so can I try and examine the rock or something like that?
Absolutely. Make an investigation check.
Examine the rock.
You
He's
see
a
a
fine
beautiful,
specimen.
chiseled man
Boy, he's
No,
handsome.
who happens to be turning 38 today, actually. That's it.
3L.
12?
Sure, why not?
Get out of here.
Same
You
age
can't
as me.
see the mechanism that is attached to it,
But tomorrow.
but what you can tell is that it's not a floor-based trap like the other one was. You like jam your hammer into the ground, and you kind of like move all around it, and the ground feels solid. It doesn't feel hollow.
Okay.
So you don't think the floor here would give way like the last one.
Okay.
You take some time looking around. You're like, what could this be connected to? You look on the walls, nothing. You look on the floor, nothing. And then you look up. And as soon as you look up, you see above you about 5 or 10 small little holes lining the ceiling of the cave.
Huh.
You got something heavy we can throw?
No.
So
He's pretty heavy.
I'm gonna attempt to take a step
Right
back.
here.
This,
Okay.
Asking Garrett to take a step back as well.
this is
And
not
then I
turning
wanna-
into scouting anymore.
I'm gonna take my blacksmithing tongs
Okay.
and try and reach out and just tap the rock as if I were to step on it.
Okay.
To see if that activates like some javelin shooting out of those holes.
Just to let you know, from where you are
Uh-huh.
to reach the rock,
What would you do?
you would still be underneath probably the last set of holes.
I would say just try
Yeah.
chucking them.
I'll try to throw on the first. I've got 2 sets of tongs, so I'll try to throw the first one.
Okay. The rock is not a very hard target to hit, but
No, he's not.
roll an attack with your dexterity,
Big sir. He's a big dude.
because it's a ranged, improvised throwing attack.
So,
15. You just kind of take a step back outside of the range of the holes. You line up the shot. Ting. As you hit the rock, it kind of just, and then, shunk, 10 spikes
Oh.
Oh,
from the
that's not
ceiling down to the floor.
Oh my.
And then you guys, actually, you're
You
kind
were
of,
zoning out.
Dyrus hears it because he's closest. You guys would have to make perception checks to hear that. But you do see the back
Sure,
into the
it's not
As I
ceiling.
see them going, can I try and like grab it by the collar and run us through?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As they're going up,
What?
you wait for the moment.
Because they're not gonna drop on us again, right? If
As
they're
soon as he
going
gives
up.
me that look, I'm like,
Scouting.
okay. I know where you're going with this.
It looked at me.
You guys
I just-
bend
He
low.
gave the camera that look.
I just, as I hear that, I'm looking down and watching this happen. I just turn back to the civilians and I go, sounds like they've hit rock bottom.
God.
Vander specifically. Vander goes, jail would be preferable.
We all died.
That's not an option.
I'm gonna roll with disadvantage because of how upset I am.
Just D100.
Actually, I mean, they retract pretty slowly into the ceiling, and it's not a wide range that they're there.
Yeah.
So you can actually, without rolling a check, you guys can make it through.
Yeah, we
Alright,
Yeah.
that's what I was hoping.
Yeah, you just grab, pull them through. You get through to the other side just as they are, and they kind of lock themselves into place again, hidden in the ceiling.
Alright, so do we have
Yeah, please. Yeah, you can remove that piece of paper right there.
Say hello from the other side.
Damn it. It almost got through.
I got you.
No,
No one's gonna
I
say
don't-
it.
I don't want to go right into that room if it's still our turn.
I was gonna jump to them real quick,
By all means.
and then we'll come back. So you guys find your way to the end of the hallway,
It's an ocean.
and you see, looking out, there is a
Turn that
long.
camera on. We could sail our way out.
Well, the camera's not on right now. so
Remove
we're
or
fine.
keep?
Oh.
We're not fighting.
Keep that there.
Battle map camera to go.
Oh, I want to see it.
Holding out your light, you can see that this hallway looks like it was trapped, but the trap or the holding underneath has given way,
Oh.
and now instead of being a trap, it's just a hazard. Half of the floor has caved in, and you can see beneath, about 10 feet down, there is a pit of spikes.
Oh.
So we see the spikes. How far is that estimated of spikes?
That is 10, 20, 30, 40, about 50
It's
feet long,
one of
this
these?
hallway.
It's a hole like this, Burwell?
Yeah.
It's so you have like a ledge, so like this, if the floor is this big, this much of the floor is remaining, the rest of it's kind of crumpled and caved in.
How stable is the ground we're on? Sorry.
No,
The ground you're on, make an investigation check.
Okay. Sorry. I need to know.
no. Furious, but
14.
You kind of like seeing the floor, you take a step back and you, whoa, okay, and you kind of stomp your feet a little bit. Seems pretty solid where you are.
Okay. Alright, be careful, guys.
I want to take a rock or like a couple and just like chuck them in. See if
Okay.
anything like happens like in the pit. Like it could be a
Pippin?
what?
Freaking
What's
what?
Pippin?
No.
What?
No, you got to be careful with chucking rocks because you can really hurt some people's elbows.
Ugh.
You only have 13 HP. I'd be very careful with
It
that.
hurts.
I almost smelled the.
I'm
food
so
that
mad
you're
that I.
Freeze frame.
I'm sorry for so many
Hurtful.
ums, by the way. It's just what I do to collect my thoughts.
How dare you?
You take a couple of rocks from the floor, chuck them in, no effect. Seems like they kind of cling off of the metal spikes that are at the bottom of the pit.
Now, would it behoove us to crawl into the pit and walk across? Could that be an effective course of action?
I mean, the bottom of the pit is lined with spikes.
Oh, it's not like you can't like walk. They're not stalagmites. They're actual
no,
spikes.
they're
Oh,
spikes.
okay.
Spikes. Yeah.
Oh, Leon, yeah.
Never mind.
Hey, this seems a little dangerous.
Hmm.
Maybe we should go back the other way.
Yeah, this is not the correct way at all.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same.
Yeah, let's go inform the
Yeah,
others.
let's go back.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh, is that how scouting works?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's really simple actually.
See, we did a good job. I'm turning this around.
Yep.
Burwell?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. You guys make your way back into.
Good
You guys
news,
head back
everyone.
into the room that you were originally in. Dyrus is waiting for you there, pacing back and forth.
Just flipping the sword
It's a
around.
party. Okay. Sorry.
And yeah, I mean it's not a far walk. You only went about 25, 30 feet into the cave. So, yeah, you're back in the room.
So, did the other scouting party come back?
No, they actually ran forward after they triggered what appeared to be some spears coming out of the ceiling.
Oh no.
What? What do you mean went forward?
I believe they didn't understand the word scout.
Like, find the traps and report them back? Like they didn't...
I understand the word scout.
Yeah.
I don't believe they did.
Oh, God. Oh, Nasira.
Oh, Nazira.
I believe they triggered the trap by something on the floor, if that helps. How did that other one look?
Oh, that's a shit show. That we ain't going anywhere over there.
Sounds good. I didn't want to go that way anyway.
Looks like somebody triggered a trap previously, and there is still spikes down at the bottom of a very, very deep hole.
Yeah, it's like
Now-
80 miles of spikes.
That is a lot. How did you see that? Anyway, here's a question I don't know if anyone's asked themselves.
Mm.
Why is this place trapped?
Probably treasure.
Whose hideouts are we currently in?
Vander, at this point, while you're speaking, kind of steps forward and he says, if I were to guess, I would say probably some sort of smuggling crew's hideout. I've seen them before. Usually they're trapped to keep people from entering from the outside.
So that means we're probably close to a city or some sort of larger town.
Oh, most definitely. We weren't that far off the coast of Hyleria when we were attacked
Well,
by
then
that thing.
I say we press forward.
Question. Assuming that this is someone's cave, wouldn't they have, like, a secret passage that is safe so they could enter freely?
Or they just know what the
Or they
traps
just
are.
know where the traps are.
Never mind. Makes sense.
But that also begs the question, when are they coming back? I would like to tell those two up there, but kind of don't now.
They are a bit too far to make conversation with. And speaking of which,
Oh, I just want to say that the torch that still has the light spell going because it lasts for an hour.
Mhm.
I'm gonna leave it where like near the trap, so I know where the trap is when we walk back.
yeah, you can kind of see where the trap is.
Yeah.
You just put the torch right in front of it, like laying down on the
Yeah.
floor. While you're doing that, Raucus, do you proceed forward into the room?
No, not initially. First, I'm going to see if there's any way I can possibly get my Toms back.
Oh yeah, you picked them up as you ran
Oh,
past.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool.
easy enough.
And then I'm going to take a look at the. Alright.
Whoa. Hey man, it doesn't do this.
Gun safety, Tom would
It
not do
doesn't have
that.
to be like
Tom
this.
would not
Yeah.
do that. He would never point the muzzle at you.
No more puns.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He
That's
pointed
fair.
at us. What the? Okay.
That's a threat.
Tom said it. I mean,
What the fudge?
Hey, man.
chill.
There you
It's
go.
my word.
That's our word.
That's all work. So I'm gonna try and take a look around and see if there's another room up top before we enter. See if there's anything I can see into that open space.
At this point, you kind of know what you're looking out for. So
Yeah.
you rub some dirt off the ceiling here and just make sure no rooms. From what you can tell, looking at this door, you know what you're looking for. There doesn't appear to be any more of those runes active, at least.
Gotcha.
No.
All right.
Should we keep going?
You want to keep going, or you want to go back and let the others know that at least this hallway is safe?
I mean, it's not entirely safe, but we know what to look out for.
Good point. Let's take a look at the room.
God fucking damn it. You know, I don't want to leave you alone, even though you seem more than capable of handling yourself. But there are strength in numbers, that's for sure.
All right. I hear you.
Not too long, though, because we can't push too far. We don't know what's beyond that. If there's any more of those things, or worse. That's all I'm saying. It's not worth it.
All right.
So you do you.
We'll go back. So we go.
All right. You guys turn around. As you move down the hallway, you pick up the torch that you left.
Yeah.
You both manage to avoid the rock because you know where it is. You head back to the main chamber. And as you get there, you're greeted by everyone else who's just kind of like, "Where'd you go, man?"
Alright, so, what's the good word?
Oh.
What do we got?
Which way are we going?
Probably your way.
Why do you say that?
With our friends over here that are less athletically capable, we're probably not making it through the other hallway.
What'd you find?
It's like miles of spikes.
Wow, that doesn't sound right.
It's not miles. It's a lot of spikes though.
Oh,
It's
gotcha.
a deep pit filled. That seems like it had a cave in with some spikes at the bottom.
That.
Any unfortunate souls in there?
Not that we can see.
Were there unfortunate souls?
Retroactively, I'll say go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage to try and remember if you saw anything.
Should I as well? Okay.
Everybody who went down that
So
way.
you rolled two.
Zanyard wasn't looking.
You rolled 2 d20s.
Yeah.
And the last
Take
one.
the lower one, yep. And then add your bonus.
What was it?
Not a big difference. A perception.
11. Nope. 11.
Yeah.
Yes, 11.
11? 7? With an 11, you actually do remember about halfway down the hall, you did see what looked like an older, decaying body that was just down in the spikes.
Did you say that?
I did ask.
Yes. Yeah. I would say it then if you
Okay.
asked.
Did they have any colors on them?
Not that I could see.
Well, I mean, it's potentially good news given the fact that you said he was old and decaying, which means nobody has been here quite some time to discover him.
Or they just
So-
left him there.
Or they could have just left him there, but they probably would have at least tried to reset their traps, I'd imagine.
That trap doesn't seem resettable.
I was just thinking that.
Just fill the hole.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a trap expert. I don't know how those work.
Well, what was down your hallways?
Let's find out. Raucous.
Next
growing
time,
tired of
Nope.
the conversation.
No.
Oh god.
There's a singular trap. There is a pressure plate in the middle of the hall. We will direct you around it.
Oh, we can do that.
Watch your feet.
Is it still chomping? Or is it just one reset?
It's one reset every time someone
Yeah.
steps on the.
It reset, so I don't want to mess around too much with it. Just, we'll show you. Come this way. We'll take you down.
I'll wait for the rest of them, and I'll wait with the civilians and send them in front of me.
Okay.
We'll get those guys by first, just to get it over with.
And
Alright, so marking out where the trap is, you guys managed to
Damn it.
maneuver around it, heading down this hallway.
Yes.
my job is to annoy, apparently.
Without any issue.
Wait, that wasn't real, please.
No.
You got me too in there.
Yeah.
How's he do it?
I got you.
Every
Thank
time.
you.
It's a weekly
Yeah.
thing now.
So,
It's more than weekly. It's every time I'm near Minx.
can you do me a favor? These are not the same things you saw earlier.
They're stronger.
They are not the
Where'd this
same.
one go?
They're stronger.
2 spaces there. Perfect.
Okay.
As you get more into this room, both of your light spells still working, functioning. You take a look around, and there's not a whole lot in this room. When you first walk in, it seems to just be almost like an entranceway, but the area where the entrance would be is all rock. In between the rock, God damn it, in between the rock and, Dwayne Johnson, there,
A hard place.
Yeah.
So we both went.
Did you say the rock on the other side is like stone cold, or is it not?
yes, very,
Okay, cool.
Macho Man. So,
Just shoehorn it right in.
just say wrestler names. That's all this episode.
Ric Flair.
Ooh, yeah.
Why don't you Ric Flair up that light again? See, that's how you shoehorn it in.
Man, this
On
wasn't
either
bad.
side of where this, on either side of where the supposed entrance should be, there are 2 stone statues. They are both unarmed, and they appear, at first glance at least, to just be standard stone statues. They are holding out their hands like this, and in each hand is a wooden bowl. And they just appear to be looking forward, holding the bowl out and staring at you.
I could see them from the back, or can I?
When you say staring at us,
Mm-hmm.
do the eyes follow?
They do not.
Oh, okay.
No, they actually don't even have. They have like the outline of eyes on the stone statue, but they don't have irises. It's
Gotcha.
just
Now,
like
when you say the entranceway is all
You can
rock,
see
is it
the
like a
windows.
collapsed rock or is it like a
it
slab?
looks like there is an
We're not literally
arch,
just standing still, like
but
we are moving
inside of
around, so
the
you are-
arch,
we're
it looks
constantly-
like just natural rock
It's just
on the wall
you know,
where
we're
it would be.
the whole time
So it doesn't look like
annoying,
it's
so
collapsed or anything?
No.
We're
Okay.
just in that general area,
Alright. first instinct.
Like spaghetti.
Great. Someone else who can get our share of the gold.
But we see the way out. You said, is it, or there's a path that way?
There's an archway where you would assume a path is supposed to be, but it is not collapsed in, but it looks like it's the same wall as everything around you, just stone and rock. Almost looks like there's a section of the wall cut out and just placed where this doorway would be.
Can I inspect the rest of the room?
Yeah, sure. Make an investigation check. Does anybody else want to do anything?
Want to take a look at their armor?
Yeah, I was just gonna look around the room too and see if there's anything.
Got you.
I'm taking out specifically
The statues?
Yeah, the statues.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
Make
you
an
get-
investigation check.
If
And
you get close, I'm gonna like give you a warning. Remember what happened last time? It
Don't
almost
touch
bit
those
you.
guys.
It did bite me.
Yeah. I got 17 minutes.
17? Okay. And you're expecting the rest of the room?
Yeah, like this area over here. These, if I could walk around, but away from those things.
Got you. Staying away from those things, you don't really see much.
Okay.
Just looks to be standard, like entryway or a rocky foyer, if you would.
Okay.
Does it
Foyers.
Does it look like there's anything in the room that would be placed into the bowls, that would fit into the bowls? Like,
In the room, no.
So these statues are made like entirely of stone, right?
Correct.
So you'd say they have like Rocky Johnsons?
God damn it.
That's it.
Come on! Come on! That was a good
damn.
one. Anyway, no, but seriously though, between them is there a doorway? Or yeah, come on, give me that. Is there a doorway between them or is it just entry?
It's an arch
Yeah.
with
Like a fish.
rock. Like a rock
Oh,
face.
okay, gotcha.
Oh.
Sorry.
No.
I was just gonna move up and see if it seems like the rock is movable.
Okay.
I know, but
Make an investigation check. Nikolai, what'd you roll for yours?
16.
16. When you go up to inspect the guy,
9.
he attacks. No.
Damn it.
Every time!
You
You get a fear of statues.
you look around and you don't really see much on these guys. They're not wearing armor. They, if anything, appear to be, the statues are a little bit decrepit and aging, but if anything, they appear to be wearing like seafaring clothes. And they are both holding out these bowls. When you touch the bowls, they move, and you can actually remove the bowls from their hand. And when you do, you turn it over, you're looking at it, it's dusty, kind of caked in, but you see on the bottom there's an inscription. What? Oh,
Wanna wake up?
what languages do you read?
Time for me to go
I
to sleep.
speak common and infernal.
Common and infernal. Okay, so you do not recognize the writing on the bottom of this cup.
Okay. Is it cool?
It looks very cool. Did you roll for anything? Did you roll?
No, I was
No,
just
you
reading.
were okay. Does anybody else?
I rolled a 9
You rolled a 9 for
to see
investigating.
if the rock is like supposed to be moved like, or is it just solid?
Hard to say from like pushing on it. It
Oh, I
doesn't,
would not dream of pushing on it.
It doesn't.
What am I gonna do?
It doesn't move to the touch, and from what you
Yeah.
can see, it doesn't appear to shift.
Okay.
It may.
Well, I'm not
but-
looking to shift it. I'm
Right.
looking to see if there's like indication that it has shifted. You know what I mean?
Got you. With a 9, you don't really see much.
Yeah.
Does the wall damage him?
It might.
I'm
The wall.
If
does-
I push, it might hurt.
That's what I'm saying.
Ah, triceps.
My leg.
Okay, I immediately move away and I stand back with the civilians again.
Okay. Leon, what were you asking?
I would like to check out the other bowl.
Okay. So you see Raucus take the bowl out of one of the hands and look at it like, what does this say? And you go over and you take the other bowl. Same thing comes off, and you wipe it off. What languages do you speak?
Common.
Just common?
Common.
Damn. You definitely don't recognize it.
Common.
Actually, I want to bring it over to Lady Belgamine.
Okay.
Hey, Lady
She's,
Belgamine.
she's with me too. Do I recognize language or speak Elvish and Common?
You do not recognize the language.
Does this make any sense to you? To use?
I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's probably dwarvish.
No, but I would ask your friend. These look familiar to the markings on the books we found earlier.
My friend? Which
The-
friend?
the
I have a
short-
lot of friends.
The young one, the good fighter.
That one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Hey, yo, Phelan. Check this out.
I take the bowl.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's not that heavy. And
It's like a
looking at it.
bathtub to you.
Yeah.
On the bottom, it's got
Platter.
some writing.
Okay. I'm looking at it.
Make an intelligence check, because again, this is Dwarven.
Mm-hmm.
You know Dwarven runes, but you can't really
Like
read them.
characters, yeah.
But
Okay.
you might be able to discern the characters, so make an intelligence check.
Oh Lord.
That didn't sound promising.
Just I plus this, right?
Yes.
6.
Oh boy.
Best
Not
you,
my
We're gonna die here.
brain fart, guys.
best you can make out something to do with liquid.
Oh, you've been replaced by Pingu.
Hello.
It's Pengu Tom!
We didn't mean to.
Oh,
we didn't
yeah,
want to
move.
spoil it, but
The penguin.
Watch the helmet. It's gonna fall.
shit.
Now it's broken forever.
That's
More than likely.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
How you
We'll
doing?
catch you up during the break. Just
That's
go
fine.
with
That's
it.
fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
we're actually almost out of break.
So as
Are
I'm
we really?
looking at it,
Are we fighting right
Yeah, a
now?
little bit.
Hour. You take.
Hour and a half, maybe. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I
Whatever you
usually
feel
I
like.
break it up 2 breaks.
Whatever's logical.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that?
and I say
Oh,
that
two
out
breaks,
loud.
then.
I can't really tell what this is exactly, but it probably has something to do with liquid. That's what I'm seeing right here.
So be ready.
So we've got to put water into it.
That's what I was thinking it might be. But what does the other bowl say? Because I know we saw another bowl.
Raucous.
The big fella's got it.
Yeah, I've got no idea. I don't read whatever.
It's dwarven.
Cool. Definitely cool. Hieroglyphic language.
I think Phelan here might be able to help out with that.
So I go up to where Raucous is,
Mhm.
and I say, "Can I see the bowl, please?"
I hand the bowl.
And I take a look at this.
Another intelligence check to see if you can discern this one.
One. Okay.
You recognize one of the runes. Oh,
All right. Finally.
this one.
That's
This
when
one
you say,
you look at.
"Crit, bitch." Well, not
Great,
like that.
ladies and
Yeah.
gents.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
Oh, that's a natural 20. Thank you very much.
Crit, fine fellows.
I like that. Okay.
You grab it and you're like, all right, so that one's definitely water, and then this one, and then it kind of sparks in you. You're like, I've seen this before. It's like almost like a tea, but that doesn't mean tea. It means tree, life, the tree of life. So what you can assume this is life water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not me.
So we just put water in both of them.
So I'm not exactly sure, but this life water.
Blood.
I
Oh.
was thinking
I
blood
was
is
I
blood.
was
I didn't
not
want to be
thinking
the one
blood.
to
I
say
just
it.
looked at him and I was like, blood. That's.
Little racist, but I get it.
I was thinking of the people you killed, but hey, if you, whatever, man.
They call him the people's champ.
I already made that joke about you.
No, you made it really quietly though.
Yeah, I know.
So it doesn't count.
It's called not interrupting, ass.
So do we need to?
You can always interrupt on the
Do we need
last
to put
word.
blood in both of these, or just one, or what are we looking at here? So one says life, one says water. Is that what I'm understanding?
One says life water.
The
The other says
Death.
indiscernible rune, something to do with water.
That's not good.
We gotta figure out what the other water
Death
is.
water.
Just said that.
Poison?
I can't hear you.
Oh shit.
Your words are tiny.
Sorry, I'm trying to like.
I'm joking.
Wow, that's
God.
yeah.
Well, if it's related to the game, it's not interrupting. It's just putting your idea out there.
All right.
Probably death water.
What about Plan C? Break through the door.
I take
don't
2
think-
steps back.
Something tells me Plan C is not going to work very well.
Should we try it anyway?
Wait. Before you knock down this wall, how many times can I inspect? Like,
What are you inspecting?
I want I looked around the rest of the room, and now I've looked at these bowls. Can I look at the armor and at this wall?
So there's no armor.
The dudes.
Oh,
Sorry.
you can look at the statues, sure.
Can I do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I'm an inspector.
Go ahead, make an
Yeah,
investigation check
Nice.
for the. We'll call this a combined check for the wall and the statues.
Okay.
I'm going to just make an assumption and say the possibility of trying to break through the wall, thus causing these giant stone individuals to attack us, is quite high.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm not scared.
With a 15, you
How
inspect
good
the
my
wall.
bullets are against stone.
Can't really find much.
Okay.
With a 15, you do notice towards the top some slight scratches and divots in the arch around it that would kind of indicate that this door does move, or that this is a door. On the statues, when you look, you see on the back of essentially the back of the base of the statues, you see a pirate's life, and then in common, you see written, a pirate's life is born of these.
Hold on.
Jack Sparrow.
This is the tale.
Pirate's life is born of these.
Okay.
And let us know if you're saying any of this out loud.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, because I guess you guys like kind of like step back and listen when I said, wait, don't knock down the wall
Oh,
again.
I'm right there. Just
And
I like the wall idea.
I'm looking up at the wall and I'm saying this door thing definitely moves. And there's some sort of riddle here, because on the back of these statues it says a pirate's life is born of these. And so I think we do have to fill the bowls with something, but we can always try to knock down the door. I'm not against it.
I look over at Vander.
Yeah, I immediately
And
look
I
at the
say-
pirate guy.
And I say, is there any sayings in the pirate community? I don't know. Are there any
That's
sayings
so
that you know of?
Wow. That's
He takes
impressive.
Or
takes
you've
a
heard in
minute.
passing? I
He
don't
takes
know.
a minute.
Pirate community.
Very
What's
bad.
community for?
Very bad history check.
A new pirate.
If it's a
It's a
pirate
pirate,
slang
pirate.
or a saying, it's an old one.
It's a
I
fake
haven't heard
pirate.
it.
Alright, well, how did you get your
Hopefully
start?
never will.
I'm sorry.
How did I get my start
How did you get your start?
as a pirate?
Yeah.
I was drinking in a tavern one day. These guys came up to me. They told me, "Hey, we're looking for ship hands." They knew I was a sailor. I was a fisherman, and went from there.
Alright, so one of them's gold.
Vander,
Blood and
you solved the
alcohol.
riddle.
That's what I'm thinking.
What?
You've solved the riddle.
Blood and alcohol.
Not gold?
Don't pirates sail on normal water?
That's also true.
Seawater?
They don't sail unless they're drunk, though.
All this talking about drinking.
Well, what if,
Riddles.
I'm just saying, what if we
Frog
get
just walks
oh,
away
God.
and he's just kind of sulking.
Well, we've got we did find some alcohol, I do recall.
We found 2 bottles of rum.
Yeah, we did.
Damn.
So we could put the rum in the one bowl.
Oh, wait. I thought it was wine.
There's definitely
Is rum.
Rum is rum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was rum.
Oh, it was wrong.
Let's
Right
talk
there.
about making rum ham.
Rum ham.
Rum ham.
Rum ham.
It's true. Alright, so I guess.
So we know who doesn't watch Always Sunny.
Oh, I didn't get up to that episode.
Yeah, I guess I never
I'm on
got
season
there.
5 right now.
Rum on one side,
I know
some
David.
blood on the other. Maybe something happens. Maybe something good. Let's give it a shot.
Who wants to donate the blood?
Don't care one way or the other.
Sounds like a volunteer to me.
Can I borrow that knife?
Oh, you
Unless
talking
you
to me?
want to cut your own hand.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't know if you were looking at me.
He's looking at you.
You could be looking at him?
It's true.
I don't see anyone else around.
Oh, and Xander, you used the opportunity. They took a short rest. You used the opportunity to attune to that cutthroat blade.
Sweet.
Keep your arm completely still.
So you're not moving your arm? Yeah, I hand you the dagger.
Cool. So which one's the blood bowl?
Raucous has the blood bowl.
Blood bowl 2.
I guess I'm gonna have to walk back and just put the blood bowl back in the statue's hands.
Okay. So he places it in the statue's hands.
Alright, so, I mean, I'll donate here if someone wants to pour some of that rum into the other bowl, see what happens. Any takers?
I'll pour it in, I suppose.
Alright.
If you don't mind me taking it. Okay, I'll just take one. I don't need to. You keep one.
I can hold the other one.
As usual, I'm gonna motion Lady Bell to
Oh
me to
no,
stay
it's
behind me.
gone.
Oh, she's used to it at this
Gone
point.
already.
No, I'm holding this
You're gonna back up everyone else.
Okay.
Just me and
She's like,
Iris.
can anybody else take this?
And I'll just.
I'm
I'll
just
take the
gonna
dagger and
back
just-
up like right a little bit around the bend.
I'm gonna
of the
wait
hole.
for him to do that first.
So you take 4 points of
Really?
damage.
Not just one?
Nope.
Very nice blade.
You're not a fairy.
Yourself.
Or, no, sorry, you're not a vampire.
Can
are
I
you?
more center myself on the door and kind of like ready the axe?
Sure.
The hammer, the maul.
So
I
you
learned from
cut yourself and
moving
just
behind.
a little too deep, and you hold the hand over the bowl, but you notice as the first drop drips in,
Next to you.
their unseen runes and carvings on the side of the bowl begin to glow, and it kind of like spreads from the center of the bowl, and as it does, the statue just raises its hands up.
Alright, well, that's one down.
And it says you're going to die.
How do we know that's a good thing?
We'll find out.
And that camera can't see you.
No.
There's no camera over here.
Wrong.
I uncork is it corked or
Yeah.
capped or whatever? I pour some gin into the other one, just like a couple drops.
Okay. Gin.
Rum.
Wrong.
Where'd you get
Rum.
gin?
Sorry.
I was like,
So
sorry,
it's
where'd you get
that.
Sorry, I got it from Jen. I said gin.
All right.
Rum.
Oh.
This child doesn't
And
even know his own alcohol.
again, very similar.
I don't drink.
Very similar. It's a very waste not, want not situation. It doesn't require a lot. After the first couple of drops, the bowl glows. And then simultaneously, both statues. And as they bring their hands back down after raising the bowls, the energy travels from in the bowls through the statue. You see lines of arcane energy just kind of travel through the statue, down into the floor, out into the door, and it lights up the archway that's around you, and you just hear as it opens. On the other side, you see a tunnel, and you see faint light because it is nighttime right now.
So we're.
Yep.
Alright, well, it's not waste time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to close again, and I don't really feel like cutting myself again.
Raucus presses forward.
I'm going to move right behind Raucus and just go.
I'm gonna.
Before me and Vander go, I kind of just like grab him by the shoulder and I say, "You've done good again."
Oh, I told you it was about getting drunk.
That was the key.
Sometimes you solve riddles you didn't even know were asked. And I put out my fist for a bump, and I punch like a little too hard.
Ow!
Sorry.
It's a shame. I'm gonna have to try.
I just look from the side like.
Can we, as we go through, make sure there's no room up there either? Even though, are we exiting or?
This is, yeah. When you
Oh.
head out the archway, you see there are runes on the archway, but they don't appear to be. They appear to be decorative in nature rather than like setting off any sort of arcane explosion or anything. And when you make it out into the hallway, this area seems pretty clear.
Okay.
This, what looks like when the door comes, because you can see the door is still kind of hanging. You can see the other side is rock too. And if this were to close, there's no archway on this opposite side. The archway is contained to that side. So this just looks like a dead-end cave to anybody who would just come in here and not realize the mechanism for opening the door. Which you guys don't see either right now. It's pitch black in this cave.
Okay.
But you, one by one, exit the cave and step out. It's a short ways up, a little bit of an incline, and for the first time in, I'd say about an hour, getting through this place.
Well, with a short rest, probably even longer than that.
Yeah, probably like
First time
probably
in
about 2
years.
hours. For the first time now, you can see again the sky and the stars, the moon.
So beautiful.
It's crisp, cold night right now.
Oh, fantastic.
Getting a little bit chilly, but you guys are free from the pirate's den.
There we go.
It's chilly.
And we are going to take a quick 5-minute break. We'll get back to you very quickly. Take this opportunity to use the restroom because I have to do that.
Okay.
And
loser.
I love all of you. Stay right where you are.
We'll
be right back.
soon.
Oh, the critic.
Suck fuckers!
Flag!
Dude!
Flag!
If you don't get flagged on Twitch, it's a better streaming service.
That's right.
Still flag!
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Critical Miss. After our first break, we have Tom back now, so that's good.
That's him.
Yay.
And we also
camera to look at.
want to give a shout out to Mandapie,
Mandapie!
new subscriber.
You know why she subscribed? She loves all the rock puns.
No.
That's exactly why. She said specifically, I do enjoy several good rock puns back to
this cave
back.
is like,
But
this
not
cave
the
is,
Everseed.
you know,
No, it's got nothing
when we were in that cave system for a while, I just felt like that darkness was just imprisoning.
Oh
Nope.
my god.
Yeah, see, you can play
Xander
that
takes
game.
40 points of psychic damage.
How would I describe the
I'll
rock?
sing the next couple of lines. I'll sing
Oh,
them.
I see.
Never mind, man.
All that you
Really
see,
good.
It's
absolute
not all
horror.
that you see because it's
Soiled it.
absolute hard.
Well,
Soiled it.
Tom, what do you think about that song? It doesn't matter what you think!
Ooh, got him.
Saved it.
I pay my taxes and vote. It doesn't matter what I think.
That's a
You
lot.
are not catching on to my rock puns enough.
I'm
Anyway,
choosing to ignore them.
can we
He's definitely
can
not
we
keeping it
D&D
rolling.
now?
We are D&Ding currently.
But who are you?
Yeah, Hulk Hogan.
Amanda Pie, that's what we're doing. We're
Oh,
talking
Amanda
about
Pie.
Amanda Pie.
Oh, Amanda, you're
Amanda Pie
pie.
goes down in history as this channel's first
No.
subscriber, right?
No.
It's America.
No, she's our most
First
recent.
during the live stream,
Yeah.
Okay.
but we
Yeah.
had I think 3 or 4 before this, but
So she's number 5.
5 or 6 I think something.
She's
like
on the list. That's
She's-
all that
hey,
matters.
You're on the list!
You're all fantastic.
Only because we're still in announcements. After Real Juice, thank you for the bits.
that. Hey!
Hey,
Oh, and who was the other one that gave bits? Roswa?
Roswa, I believe.
Fuck
is
Roswa.
Roswa? I'm not sure how you
It's
pronounce.
a penny per
Or Roswa?
We also had a trumpet Richie.
Rose
One bit.
wine, thank you
One
for the
bit?
bits.
Woo! All right.
I think that deserves one of those dabs that the children do.
Oh,
God.
that was
There it is.
I did not. I did this thing.
As an
That's
Italian,
not a
I'm very
dab.
offended by
I don't
that.
That's
think.
I think something
That's
from a
not bad.
Thriller video.
I'm pretty sure this is how the kids do it.
Yeah.
I'm young.
No, the kids don't do that.
I'm hip.
Doesn't.
Just
No
old
one does
enough
that.
that might count as old guy dad.
Well, I'm
Fair
turning
enough.
38 tomorrow, so just like The Rock. So,
Right.
Congratulations.
Same age as The Rock.
Some
Yes.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good, proud of you.
You guys have
I'm out of
exited
the
the
woods.
cave,
Leveled
Uh-huh.
up.
The Xavier one.
and you are now in what looks like a pretty heavily wooded area. The trees are mostly obscuring the moonlight that is passing down. It is cold, like I said. There doesn't seem to be any real walkways or roads in your immediate vicinity.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
You might
I would
forget
go
where you
around.
need to
I would
go.
prefer roads.
Yeah.
Um,
Alright, there we
We
go.
did find some maps, though. I do believe.
Yes, we did.
You did find some navigational maps,
So
but
cool.
they were ship navigational maps. They were
They were nautical maps.
exactly they were nautical maps. They looked like charts sailing the
Did we fully examine
Northern
those?
Strait and the Southern Pass. What?
Did we fully examine those?
You can take some time to if you'd like.
I mean, later.
Are we gonna
There
set
might
up-
be treasure maps.
Are we gonna set up camp here for the night?
Well, we need. I remember hearing something about being nearby civilization. Maybe a quick
Well, it was
search
just
of
an
the area.
assumption. I don't know for sure.
Our
But
pirate friend, right?
I don't think he knows.
I don't know exactly where we are, but I mean, if I were to assume we're somewhere in the Briarwood,
Where's that?
southwestern portion of Hyleria.
All right.
That makes sense.
Great.
We should travel in the morning though, so we can follow the sun towards the east.
He's right.
Fair point.
And there's
Yeah,
less
we-
chance of an ambush during the day, too.
Do we have any camping supplies, though?
Sure.
I do.
Same. Not a tent or anything, but
Yeah, I've got my explorer's pack, so that'll be set.
yeah.
Ready to sleep in the woods. I mean, army.
All right.
Is
So-
is it woods? Is it?
Yeah, it's a
Alright,
pretty
so
heavily wooded
I'm
area.
gonna go
Straight
make my way,
foliage.
I'm gonna start gathering firewood.
Well,
Yeah.
well, should we gravitate towards a different area? I feel like sleeping right outside the exit of the trap cave is not the best idea.
I was actually going to suggest we sleep inside of it.
I was gonna say the same thing. Actually, it seems like the safest portion if we don't any tents to keep the people in.
But
There's only one way in and one way out.
You can't get surrounded when there's one exit.
true, but I'm concerned that someone is more likely to come through at all in the cave.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario, they'll just know where we are.
As far as they know, we haven't been inside further than this,
We ain't gotta tell them nothing.
Well, strength in numbers. Let's go in the cave.
and also
Yes.
we have civilians with us that aren't going to make it very far. So.
Yeah.
Very true.
We can wait till daylight and get a move on from there. I think it's the best option.
Little
All
doggy.
right.
Little doggy.
Raucous, you head out to gather some firewood. Go ahead and make an investigation check to find some proper firewood.
Make a firewood check.
Yes.
4.
4.
Yep.
You found a stick.
It's
4 twigs.
it's odd actually as you look through the forest. Generally, when when you look through the forests, you would tend to find some like dead branches or trees. The floor of the forest seems pretty barren. It seems like the trees here are all thriving. There's not a lot of like decay, so you're finding it hard to find branches. You find a couple that would be like good kindling, but the fire wouldn't last very long.
Yeah.
If you want to continue your search, you can. It'll just take you a little bit longer.
I'll continue my search because we're gonna need. If it's cold night, we're gonna need some gear.
So you now are leaving sight of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost
But we have these torches.
Can someone go with him?
That's true. We still do have the
Maybe.
torches.
We can just
Please
kind of
do.
just makeshift up a campfire with these torches.
Makeshift up your face.
It's not gonna last very long.
Is the cave door open? Or
The cave door.
Well,
After a few moments, actually, the cave door just kind of slams back closed.
and you said it would appear as if it's just like a normal rock face.
Yeah.
Just a very narrow cave, just like a.
Yeah, about a
Yeah.
10-foot wide by 10 or 12 feet high.
so we're not in the cave then.
So
Yeah, so
we're
we won't be
going
able
back
to.
We're right outside the cave.
I
But
Oh,
you-
I'm
but-
suggesting that we at least put
Yeah.
the civilians in the
Talking
cave.
about like the little exit portion of the cave. That's where we are.
Yeah,
Okay.
the actual cave itself
Okay.
is,
No, we can't.
is
Yeah,
It's
a little
like
bit
a
wider.
small
You could
entrance
fit
that goes like
people in there.
like it's slightly deep, and then there's the doors. So there's like a tiny little, what appears to be a very narrow cave.
Think of
and
a
then-
vestibule.
It's about 60 square feet of space inside
a
of
rock
a small
foyer.
hole. Yeah.
Oh,
As long as
okay.
there's room for
Yeah.
people, we're good.
Yeah, there's enough room for you guys to bed
So
down.
since Raucous is walking away, I'm gonna go with him.
Okay.
Because
You
long
guys,
range,
you guys
Altair's
head out
nice.
into the forest. Is there anything you want to discuss while you move through?
Looking for wood.
So what really brings you to Anjasir?
Still not able to tell you that.
This is Hylaria. You came from Anjasir. That's okay. I'm just letting you know.
What brings you to Hylaria?
Oh, well, just reporting back to my superiors. That's all.
Just reporting back. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Trying to think what else. I know this is a conversation I would want to have, but I don't know what I want to ask.
Fine, I'll kiss you.
We just hear from the woods. No, I will not make out with you.
Chlorophyll, more like borophyll.
So we're just gonna keep looking for more firewood. That's really all I'm gonna say.
You guys are both looking, so make an investigation check, both of you. Combined score.
Do you have a pen?
I have several.
Yeah, thanks.
Shocking in that fucking.
My investigation is a 20.
That was 7.
7?
You don't know what wood
So,
is. I know what wood
Or
is.
twigs.
This is a wood. Holds up a raccoon.
so Raucous, after about like 15-30 minutes of searching, you finally find like this one, what you would consider like a really good starter log. And you pick it up and you're like, nice, I got it. And as you turn around, Xanier has about 7 of those just stacked high in his arms.
So,
Well, glad you chose to come out here and help me then.
we found it together. So,
Nice way to think about it.
you've been asking me before, what are you doing coming to Hylaria?
It's time for me to leave Anjasir.
Why were you there in the first place?
At a forge.
Oh, yes, that's right.
I've got a blacksmith. It's been
Fantastic.
many happy years after the wars. You know, forging weapons and horseshoes, different things.
Oh, alright.
Fine work you must have done.
Giving him some details.
You moving back to Hyleria to start a forge there, or?
No, I have other business in that area.
Oh, Coolio.
Coolio.
Classic Dungeons and Dragons touch.
classic phrasing.
Before we get back to the group, do you have any ins with? Sorry, let me say the right name.
Consulting the notes.
Yeah,
That's why there's notes.
it's true.
The Order of the Cat's Eye?
It's the Order of the
No,
Cat's Eye.
never again.
You don't know.
Oh shit, we don't.
They're back.
Maybe they transcended campaigns.
Oh no.
They
Oh, you're
transcend
looking for
more.
the name of the mage group?
I know.
Space and
Yeah,
time
the-
travel. What have they
oh.
discovered?
The Order of the Rose Circlet.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
You actually would. They work pretty closely
Oh,
with.
really?
Yeah, they work pretty closely with the Imperium. If you guys are the peacekeepers of the general populace, they are the peacekeepers of the magical populace.
Okay.
They
Didn't even break my word.
study and list new spells, things like that. They kind of archive knowledge. They also keep a directory of mages, either in Hyleria and Jasir. Every mage they can find, they register just so they can kind of keep tabs on them.
Yeah, you know, make them wear a star and everything. You know, I don't know how that is.
No, not that.
Whoa.
Definitely not that.
Good. Good.
No, it's not. It's not a sort of elimination thing. It's just
Like
if you
registering a
cause a lot of trouble.
gun. Like registering a gun.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You are a weapon, so you should
Yes.
be. Yeah.
Would I know people in that? Or?
Yes, you
Okay.
would. You would be able to browse their archives. As part of the Imperium, you might be, have to tell a couple of lies to do it, but
I mean,
you could do it. You have ins.
okay.
You are the inn, essentially.
So what did you need to know?
What were they? Hold on, this one.
The Order of the Rose Circlet. Given the name by the circlets that they usually make mages wear.
Makes sense.
Really mean a rose?
Not very creative. but
They
makes
are
How do you spell
rose
circlet?
colored. Circlets, circle
with a
T.
T. Yep.
Circle
C-I-R-C.
CIRCLET.
Circle with a T.
Okay. Sorry, bad spelling.
Kyle
dyslexic,
with an R.
everything's
Sorry.
Okay.
Just like,
I want to actually try to keep notes of this campaign, so I'm not always like, "What's
I'm
this again?"
super happy about it.
Yay! Notes!
Something I never did in school because I didn't
Same.
care. Yeah,
This
but
is way better than school.
I fully agree because I don't hate this. And then,
Fair enough.
okay.
I know a few people in the Order of the Rose Circlet. I could see, ask around. What do you need to know?
I just need to get some information.
I mean, when we get back after I report to my superiors,
I would have friends in the circle. Would I have friends? Would they be considered friends?
Yeah. I mean, you have friends who work within the circlet.
Okay.
But you could also, as an Imperium soldier, you could walk in and go, I need information on a mage. I need to see the records.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I misunderstood that.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant like I could go in and lie to get friends to do it for me. So,
No,
okay.
they're like a subsect of yours.
Oh, okay,
they
okay.
work with you and
Yeah.
kind of for you.
after I report to my superiors, we can go to their archives and we can see what you need to see. I don't see why it would be a problem.
Thank you.
No problem.
After we make it to town, I will definitely be reminding you of this.
Yeah.
All right.
And I bet at this point I hope our match will back to
Yeah, you guys are heading back now. Almost there. Did anybody want to do anything while they were gone?
I just sit up against the wall writing my notebook.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit up like annoyingly close.
Well, then I wouldn't write. I would stop writing.
It's like, hey yo, Dyrus.
I'm sorry, yes?
I couldn't help but notice while everyone was murdering and stabbing, you didn't. And I just want to say I appreciate that.
On the boat, yes.
Well, yeah, those things were like alive.
Oh, sorry.
Where was that?
I'm not even in the cave.
Out
I
in
don't
the
know
woods.
what it was.
He's not even a good fake sneezer.
That's true, apparently. I didn't know there was a good fake sneezer, but I gotta say I'm curious. Just like why? Not that I don't appreciate it. Why?
Well, you've traveled around on Jasir, no?
I have.
Well, I don't know how long you were there or how many of the customs you learned, but in Anjasir, we appreciate life, maybe more than anywhere else in the world. I was taught life is more important than anything. Men get shown mercy. That's why jails exist. That's why rehabilitation exists. You saw I spent 20 minutes talking with a former pirate, and he's got his life turned around, possibly. I hope so. And if it was up to the other one, he would have shot him in the face and never asked a question.
I gotta say I'm.
Shut up! You're not here.
I'm more than glad to hear that, because I gotta say I lived my whole life in the church, learning that no one's beyond
In the church.
beyond saving. And
Here's the church. Here's the steeple. Open it up. You see all the mooks.
You see the millions
And millions.
of the Nasir followers. Yes.
But I was wondering if you'd be up to it. I've been looking. I've lived my whole life in the church, and I'm looking for someone or some way to get out. Belgamine could attest for this, but I can't live the rest of my life there. I want to spread the word of Nasira, and I was wondering, would you be up for traveling together after this is over?
That definitely does sound agreeable to me. I mean, I am on a quest of my own. It's not a specific, it's more of a general quest. But,
What? You say.
well, I mean, it was part of the sentence.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what your sentence is! You know, I do have my own goals and things I'd like to achieve myself, and I'll be honest, I was looking for a group to join, but if we can start our own, and you know, some of these folk have some promise.
I gotta say, I like the raucous guy, but he's a little violent.
Hopefully he learned a bit in Anjasir. You saw he threw a javelin through somebody's leg, but didn't kill him at least.
That's
well,
true.
The blood loss probably did. But
Oh shit! I don't. Oh, spaghetti.
well, we'll never know because the boat got attacked by something that we'll probably talk more about
It was
later
a
on.
kraken. Definitely a kraken.
That
I've seen
was-
a kraken before.
I have not. That's
Make an insight check.
I don't need to. Nor do I want to.
He's never seen the Kraken.
I've seen all the Krakens.
But yeah, I certainly am looking to start a quest. So
It's good to know. Thank you. I appreciate you teaming up. Hope like you said.
and I
hopefully we get
appreciate
some of
you
these
as well.
dudes.
And it's good to see not everybody's a bloodthirsty animal.
Yeah, and maybe we could bring some of these guys back to the light. You know, teach them that you don't have to kill every time.
That's what I'm trying to do here. So I appreciate that. And again, just a little too hard.
I gotta teach you how.
You
to
weren't
actually
full
do-
plate gauntlets. You're fine.
There's just a tiny little bit.
You just hear a pain. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
It's just annoying, you know.
Phelan, Garrett, anything while they're out?
I was thinking that I would sit out on the ground and perhaps like scribble notes and in my notebook just really quickly about what happened, and then sit and meditate or just enjoy the nature around me and the calm of it. It's nice for me.
Once I get everyone settled in, I kind of just post up on a tree, kind of just sit down and just close my eyes and just not really meditating. I mean, it kind of looks like I'm meditating, but I'm just, you know what I'm doing. I'm just just
Gotcha.
spacing off a little bit.
Phelan, while you're
Spacing off.
Oh, and
While
by the way,
you're-
sorry to interrupt. After we're done talking, I finish writing, and then I put the book
Oh
away.
yeah, I would move away.
Yeah, I put the book away, so go ahead.
Anything
Anyone's there.
while you're sitting, Phelan, you hear the sound of labored steps behind you. Yes. It kind of breaks your meditation for a second, and you just kind of look around and you see Vander, the pirate who's been traveling with you, approaching, and he kind of sits down across from you, and he goes, "Sorry, are you busy?"
No.
I just thought it would be a good idea, since you guys helped me out so much, to go around and kind of own up to my mistakes. I'm sorry for attacking you and your people. You seem like good people. I know I'm still probably going to go to jail for a long time after this, but I was talking with that Dyrus guy, and he seems like he's got a good thing going on, you know, and it felt good to do the right thing for once, so I'm sorry.
Thank you. It's very wise of you to come to see that and to apologize. And there's good in everyone. We just have to look for it sometimes.
I'm trying. And as he says that, he kind of like leans back and like looks up, and where you're sitting, there's this beautiful open canopy, and you can see the moon. It's a full moon. It's bright and it's beautiful. It's beaming down. And he says, where I'm from, on the Shattered Islands, my people have a saying. There's a legend. It's said that the stars in the night sky are eyes of great and dark and terrible beings watching us. And the moon, it's said, is the greatest and darkest of them all, always opening and closing its horrible eye. On the nights when the moon is full, it watches us more closely than ever. So I always tell people, whether on sea or on land, be wary of a full moon. I'm probably going to head to bed for that reason.
That's the creepiest thing I've ever heard.
He kind of stands up labored.
That inspiration died.
It's coming. He kind of stands up labored, and he's using the branch he has found as like a crutch almost. He stands up and he says, "I agree, but as is custom, I usually tell people that when I see a full moon."
And he's walking away?
Yeah.
Can I say, oh wait, are you cursed too?
Cursed?
Weren't there some were sharks?
Oh, no. That was
Checking.
that was their thing.
No.
Yeah. They had the ability to do that when I came along. They asked if I wanted part of it, and I didn't really think that was a good idea. So no, I'm not were shark.
Be safe. Stay with the group.
He takes a couple steps away, and he kind of just walks into the cave. And as he walks into the cave, he takes one last look back at the moon, turns and walks into the cave.
I just pat him on the back as he passes me. I just have one other thing.
Yeah.
Any-
You guys are back by now. Raucus and Xanier. You get the fire going.
My man.
Look at all the wood we got.
Yes.
Together.
We did.
Together we got a lot of wood.
Yes. We did.
You guys get the wood piled up. You get a nice big fire going just outside of the mouth of the cave, so that it doesn't smoke everybody out, but still gives warmth.
And then the wind shifted.
You cook up some food. Everybody well fed.
Woo!
Is there anything else? You said you wanted something more to do. Anybody
as-
else?
I'm gonna take the food. I see if Leon also takes food at some point.
Wait, what do you mean takes food?
We're cooking up.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
like before night.
Yeah.
Before sleep dinner, I guess.
It's hungry.
So
You
it's
get
a little
hungry
late for
traveling
dinner,
through
but
caves.
before sleep dinner, I guess, whatever.
Sure.
I'm gonna like kind of motion you to come out of the away from them with me.
Oh.
If you don't mind, I'd like to speak with you for a second. I walk over. There's just been something bothering me. I'm not quite sure. You heard that thing in your head too, did you?
Thing in my head.
When we were on
Oh,
the boat?
right. The big voice, yeah.
Yes. It seems to think that his vessel was near. You don't think it just meant the boat, do you?
Oh, definitely not. It wouldn't have crushed the boat if that was its vessel. At least that's what I think.
And, now I'm fairly certain we're safe here on land, but what?
Well, what? It seemed if something of great power, I would think it would need a vessel of equal power. If just assuming here, I don't know if any of us fit the bill.
I don't really know these people. I don't really know you for all that well, to be honest.
Fair.
But just worrisome to me. That's all. I just thought I'd bounce the idea off you, see what you thought.
It's funny you bring that up. Have you heard of any attacks in this area beforehand?
I've never heard of anything outside of my hometown before this.
It just seems weird. It's very strange. Well, either way, we should definitely get the word out so no one ships over there anymore.
Well, if what it was after was on our boat, I don't think anyone else has anything else to worry about, really.
I don't know if it was our boat though. It just seemed to be attacked the other boat too. I don't. Maybe it was just on a violent rampage. I don't know.
It's true. It's just the voice just keeps ringing in my head, and it's a little worrisome.
I have a bad feeling that we won't be seeing the last of that. But
well, I won't be
hope
going
not.
on the water anytime soon, so hopefully it's the last time I do.
12 minutes later.
We're back on the water! The gang goes on the water.
Where are you guys having this conversation?
Just like away from the camp,
Yeah.
like out towards the forest, but not
Okay.
like quite into the forest.
Gotcha.
Just out of earshot, hopefully.
All right.
You're poisoned.
All right.
land cracking.
So is that it?
Unless you have anything else.
Mhm.
Well, that's
It
all.
is-
That's all. I just wanted to bring it up, and you're kind of the only one I trust more than a little bit at this moment. So,
Noise.
and your lady seems fine as well.
Most honest woman I ever met.
How fun.
You don't think she could be?
No. No. No, I grew up with her in the church. She's good people.
Okay. I just it's just been bugging me. That's all. All right. Well, we should
think
go.
on it.
If just keep your eyes open and your ears
Oh,
open.
of course.
I'll take first watch, by the way.
So, Dyrus, you're taking first watch.
As we walk back, I announce that I'll take first watch, and
Leon,
someone else wants to go to sleep.
as you're walking back to the cave, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh God.
I didn't do it. I swear.
What the fuck?
I didn't do anything.
9.
9. As you're walking through, and you feel a strange twinge. You feel like
You all right?
shake it off. After a second, you're like, that was weird. Nothing.
I'm fine. Just a little sore from the fight, and it's been a while.
Oh, well, you did take quite a beating. It's,
Yeah. He actually gets a little mad at that, but
you survived. That's
You
the
took a
compliments.
fucking beating.
I didn't get touched, actually.
I did the touching.
I barely.
just
Phrasing.
Leave it
yeah,
back.
just a little rusty,
Sorry.
shaking off the cobwebs.
All right. Well, as we get back, I'll take first watch if everyone else wants to take their rest.
Oh, you meditate, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna stay up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
When everyone's eating, I'm gonna say Raucus is not eating with the group.
Okay.
He's gonna be off a little bit in the
Fair enough.
you can see him, but he's in the tree line, I guess.
Yeah. So you guys are all kind of huddled around the campfire, and you notice Raucus kind of just off in the tree line, leaning up against a tree.
Oh yeah, I'm not near the campfire at all. I'm in same tree.
Yeah, you're
Same tree.
you're in the other side of camp,
Yeah.
kind of up in a tree.
No, just at the base
Oh,
of the
just
tree.
at the base of the
Yeah.
tree. Okay. And are you doing anything in particular?
I'm just eating.
Okay.
Just
All right. So
Oh.
the
kind of doing
two
loners
two
and
owners are eating.
away from the group.
On the, I'm gonna be near the campfire. You said it's just outside the mouth of the cave?
Yeah.
A bunch of
Well, I wanna
loners.
be like on one of the sides of the mouth of the cave, my back against the wall, like just a tent to the woods.
Well, to be fair, I mean, you guys are all fairly
Oh, yeah.
new to each other.
Oh, true. Yeah, of course.
So you're just
I would
against
say
the
my
back
name-
wall.
Yeah,
Facts
I'm like, I'm
about
near the
it.
fire, I'm not like all the way out, but I'm like by the entrance of the cave with my back against the wall, just, eating and training to the forest, just, keeping.
Gotcha. All right. So unless anybody else has anything to do, you guys eventually find your way to either a sleeping bag or a tent. Lay down for the night. Close your eyes. Drift off into sleep. Dyrus, you're taking first watch. Make a perception check.
Ooh.
Oh man.
9.
9.
Oh man.
We're all dead.
That's right. I'm sure it's a really, really bright thing that's coming after us.
Nothing.
The flashlight.
So you get through the first couple of hours. Nothing really happens. No problems. No issues. You do find yourself every now and again glancing up at the big, beautiful moon in the sky, and it's gorgeous. It's bright, and when it gets directly above, like overhead, more light shines into this area because you're kind of in like a little bit of a clearing, so everything kind of lights up, and you kind of just take a look around, people sleeping, and you see Vander sort of sleeping not well in the corner, tossing and turning, and you kind of just smile to yourself like, maybe I've changed that guy's life. Maybe.
Smiling giggle.
But nothing really happens.
Did anyone volunteer to take second watch before I?
Nobody did.
Well, did you
I
say
would've-
that?
I
Okay.
would've-
I'm also awake, leaning up against the wall.
No, this
so-
is way after that. This is like
Well,
when I went to sleep.
Are you going to sleep at all or no?
Well, I can meditate. Well, I'm an elf, so I can
Yeah.
meditate.
Yeah, so you can meditate. Yeah. It takes,
Okay.
what, 6 hours to meditate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
4 to 6. I usually said 6 just because
Yeah.
4 was ridiculous.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
Half the time to sleep.
Yeah.
4 minutes? Cool, we're good.
What? Just a nap and a sandwich. That's all you need.
Smoking a pancake?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I would have said that.
So then after what I think is my shift, because I don't know how to tell time at night, I just go over and I just kind of like kick his sleeping bag lightly, but enough to wake him up.
All right, so just to let you know, for second watch, as a human, you have not been sleeping for 8 hours.
Well, usually the way it works with watches is that
Even as that, you still require sleep, don't you?
Oh, no, you
Yeah,
still
but
got-
usually we cut it the way like it's usually done is like you just cut it into like 2-hour shifts, and so
Yeah.
that he gets accumulated 8 hours over like 10.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's usually
Okay.
how,
Yeah,
that's usually
that'll
how
work.
watch works. Yeah.
But it's I mean
No, that'll
I guess
that'll
we
work.
should specify next time, but yeah.
That'll work.
You stay awake for 8 straight hours.
Yeah, because it wouldn't make sense for you to.
No chance.
Yeah, then we would never have a chance in the woods.
Right. All right. So you're woken up for your shift.
Yep. I'm ready to
You're
go.
And-
watching over.
Well, as I transfer over to you, I say you're gonna be able to see out here.
I'll see perfectly.
All right. And I go and meditate, I guess.
You have dark vision. Make a perception check.
Go, baby.
Nope.
Wow, really? Another one.
Ooh.
Alright. You're gonna
$100 to enough.
You're gonna take a break for a little while. Okay?
Sorry, I just zoned out there for 3 hours.
Oh yeah, no, I have a full on zone
I zoned out for 3 hours.
conversation.
Zone out Oh yeah. Okay.
And
So
everyone's just gurgling
Gotcha.
blood from their slit throats. Oh man.
you
There's something's just pressing that
Yeah,
we
you-
discussed.
yeah, you are having that internal monologue with yourself as time passes by. Luckily for you, this area of the woods seems pretty secluded, and before you know it, you hear rustling behind you, and it kind of snaps you out of it. And you look, and it's daylight, and the rustling you hear is people waking up, and you're like, "Wait, what?" I thought 15 minutes
Oh,
passed,
wait.
but
We
it's
went a
morning.
We went a little too long on that one.
You guys wake up, rested. You're all feeling better. You have all your
Great.
spell slots back.
Hey!
Hit points are at maximum.
Hey!
Let me change to nothing.
You gain
0 to 0.
3 levels.
I could use it.
And yeah, that's you guys are up. You wake up. The fire has gone out in the night, but it lasted a good amount of time because you found a decent amount of logs in your combined jointed efforts.
Teamwork.
It's a team
Us
effort.
together.
Does he keep saying that? I was gonna say we should definitely start looking out for the nearest town. I could use it. That was nice and all, but I could really use a real bed.
Agreed. And
Alright,
not to
well.
mention if we If we follow the coastline, we could end up in Hylaria anyway. So.
Well,
we're
Vander
already
pops
on.
up. We're in Hylaria.
We're already on Hylaria.
South Dawn is what I meant. Sorry.
Well, if we're in the and Vander, just with his knowledge of the area, he says, "Well, if we're in the Briarwood, that would mean we would have to go northeast if we're at the southern portion, because there's a river that runs through. It's impassable unless we get to the bridge.
Right.
So we
to
could
the
follow
bridge, then.
we could follow the coastline to the river, and then follow the river to the bridge.
That sounds like a plan.
Sounds like you know much more about navigation than I do. So.
Tools of the trade.
I'm at your back.
All right.
Well, at your side, I suppose, until you can walk. So.
Yeah. By the way, need help with that.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
kind of leans in.
Can I take a look at his leg?
You can.
Can I not let him?
I mean, he's going to approach if you want to try and stop him.
Yeah. I'm just gonna kind of like lead him the other way,
Okay.
like away from you.
Just wanted to help his leg. I guess we're just gonna let him just fall down all the time. That's
He's fine.
Okay.
He leans in and whispers into your ear, "I'm really not fine. It hurts a
No,
lot."
he's not a doctor. If you need help with anybody, you can ask Leon.
Hey, you guy, can you help me?
What?
And he kind of shows you his leg. And Xanier, since you were in the immediate area, you do kind of see he takes off the bandage where his
Tourniquet.
leg, the tourniquet. Yeah.
Oh, good. His leg's dead.
He takes off the bandage splint of the leg, and you see now that this wound does not look good. It's starting to turn like a deepish purple.
Wow. Your leg's fucked up.
Yeah. Is there anything you could you help me with that?
I can't promise anything, but I'll give it a shot. I'd like to do I guess a basic medicine check. I don't know.
Okay.
Or try to basic heal.
You can. Do you have a healer's kit?
I think I would imagine it. I don't know if that
You're
was an option
supposed
here,
to as
but
a cleric.
I would
Yeah.
have taken one.
It was
yeah.
one of the options. I'm sure you would.
Yeah.
So
I think
make-
I just chose automatic, so I don't know.
Are
Yeah,
you
so just-
proficient in medicine?
Yeah.
Okay, so make a medicine check.
I mean, I've got cure wounds.
Damn.
8.
8. You kind of fumble through your healer's kit a little bit. You're like, you do the best you can. You grab out some, like, a little bit of, like, antiseptic oil and use a bandage, put a fresh bandage on it, wrap it up with cloth, like an ace bandage. You're like, that's really the best I got for right now. But he says that'll do. Thank you.
So I wish I could do
Something.
more.
No,
but,
I appreciate it.
we should get you to an actual doctor and then with some medication and stuff.
Well, do you think it's, like, really bad?
The longer it sits, the more it's gonna fester.
I mean, if you're really, excuse me, if we really need to get someplace quick, we can go to Everseed. That's not too far from here.
Hey, the quickest place, the better, I say. I don't know what the rest of the group says though.
What's the
Closest civilizations.
What's that?
I'm
I would
going
know
for.
what that is.
Everseed?
Yeah.
Everseed's the elven capital of the Briarwood. And you know that you can find it very easily because it sits at the base of, by far, the largest tree in the forest, Yggdrasil. And you can see this in the distance. It is a towering expanse of a
wow.
tree. Imagine a skyscraper of wood. That is Yggdrasil.
So we can
It's
see it from
enormous.
where we are?
Yeah, well, you kind of have a cover over, but if you take a step back into like that clearing area that you had, you could just see the tips of the leaves in the distance, and it's almost like directly due north.
Alright, well, I think I pointed out, I think we got our pathway that way. Can't miss it, trust me.
Is there military there for the Imperial?
There's their own military.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Okay, different. Yeah, my bad.
it seems like we have a plan of action
Thoughts?
and a destination.
I need to be back to my commanders faster. I do have to report.
I'm sure they have a teleportation circle there.
I hope so.
I'm sure they'll understand if you are a little bit late after your boat was attacked. But
I hope
that's
so
for them
too.
to discuss.
I hope so too.
That's not my forte.
So, anything else? Or you guys want to head on?
We make our journey for the Elven capital.
Gotcha.
And you said the tree was Yggdrasil?
Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil.
Yes.
Like YGG.
YGG DRASIL.
GG noobs. GG, he's
Got me. I'm trash.
What's the name of the town you said? Or the city?
Everseed.
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 I feel like they're privy to plant life.
I mean, when you make your home at the base of the biggest tree in the world.
I feel like we should refrain from causing any destruction of any sort. I look at Ruckus.
That's just
I'll
rude.
try my best.
That's all I have asked.
So you guys head into the forest. It's slow going. Takes a bit longer because you have Belgamine, who's older, and she not too injured of a leg, but she is hobbling a little bit. Vander is slowing you down a great deal. Dyrus is helping him as best he can, but
With my awesome speed, does that cancel out anything?
if you wanted to try and pick him up and carry him,
No shot. Not even a little bit. We will slow as the whole group down as much as we want.
I just went back to Roland for a second. I was like, I instantly just thought, oh, let him leave him to die.
Yeah, I don't care. Fuck that guy.
Just because my favorite terrain is forest, I'm gonna go on a little bit ahead just in case, because I can move around with that with no issue.
fair enough. Phelan, you know this forest very well because both Far From and your original hometown are in the Briarwood.
Right.
So if you wanted to help him out, you can let him know, or you can hang out in the back. It's up to you.
I'm gonna be honest, I was reading my spell card.
Fair
What did you
enough.
say?
No problem.
I said I'm gonna be up ahead because I can move through the forest without issue. I'm an awesome ranger.
Oh. It sounds like you got it handled. I would say get up, get the rear, but I'll come in the front with you, regardless.
All right, well, welcome.
You're an awesome ranger. It's a shame you're not a power ranger.
I mean, I could be. You don't know that. There's a lot you don't know about me.
That's true. I don't know anything about her, except for a little bit about Roettger.
Would there be any druidic messages like left around in this area?
In this area, there are certain trees that you pass. Actually, make a perception check.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Percept.
10?
10. It's hard to say. There's not really messages, but you do notice that certain trees, as you pass, like you'll kind of like put a hand on one, and you'll feel some sort of remnant of not like arcane energy, like they're trapped, but like almost like an alert message, like, hey, someone's over here. You don't know if they're, you don't know if it's for nefarious means or what, but you do notice that as you pass, someone is keeping track of where you guys are moving through the forest.
Oh. Someone. Okay. Are there any animals in that area?
Yeah, all throughout.
Capture one.
I can't. No, you don't.
All right,
I
Pokemon.
throw my
There's-
Pokeball.
There's squirrels.
Especially
You see
the
the
otters.
occasional deer. No
The
otters,
forest otters.
unfortunately. Those are,
Otherwise
those
known
are
as
closer to the
dogs.
river.
Yeah.
Occasional deer. You do see some boar,
birds, things like that. No like
Hawkman?
rainforest animals.
By any
There's no
chance?
monkeys.
Hawk?
There's no.
Yeah.
There's no.
Any bird people?
Can I look out into the or you know what, that's yeah. I guess I would can I do this speak with animals thing? Speak with animals thing. If there were
That
a
is the
bird
spell, yeah.
nearby, it says you gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the past day. You might be able to persuade a beast to perform a small favor for you at the DM's discretion.
That's
Long
a lot.
description.
That was a lot. of
Nice.
description.
Yeah. Speak
Right
with
there.
animals.
I
Yeah.
use it quite a bit.
So you do
There we
see
go.
there's the occasional animal passing that you could definitely use speak with animals on. Is there anyone in particular? Like I said, birds, deer,
Aren't crows supposed to be really smart?
crows
They
are
are.
supposed to be really smart. Yes,
They
and
are.
you do see the
Yeah,
occasional
no.
crow.
Can I
Also no.
use this?
Still no.
Yes, it's a first level spell.
Yeah.
They just say they're
Pokemon.
they're
Pokemon.
To speak with the crow and say, have you seen any people here before us, or are there people here within your range? Something like, are there people
He
around
kinda-
besides this group?
Once you start, like you cast the spell and you start speaking out loud, and the crow actually flies off for a little bit, and then it turns around, comes back, and it goes, "What?"
Say what now?
It kind of just perches on your shoulder and like leans in a little bit. Like, what?
So have you seen people besides this group that I'm traveling with around here somewhere? Is anyone following us or watching us?
I haven't seen anybody following you, but the pointy ears usually keep track of the people moving through the forest.
That's racist.
What you say to me?
I also
don't
have
care.
pointy
There's a
ears.
racist crow.
No, the tall ones. The tall pointy ears.
Oh, okay.
What are you saying?
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't hear anything.
No, all you hear is.
I feel like somebody just said something racist.
Okay. Thank you.
Why do I feel
If you'd like to
angry?
travel us, we're traveling for a bit more.
I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
All right.
You better not.
What do they call you?
Huh?
Do they call you anything? Like a name? Oh, okay.
They call me
We don't
Cove.
really talk like that.
Oh.
I'm that guy over there.
What about that other guy?
That's that other guy.
Who's on first?
That's the guy over there.
No.
I don't know. Third base.
Thank you.
No problem.
No, he's on.
So he hangs out with you for a little bit more. I think the spell only lasts about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
So after 10 minutes, he just kind of like, and flies off.
Yeah. Okay.
Why aren't you laughing at any of my jokes anymore? Bye!
Yeah, I see no cause for alarm. So,
I'm gonna go tell everybody they're
is
here.
there any elves in our group that I know?
1,
1,
2.
Hi.
Okay. But they're. Okay. All right. Sorry. Just.
All right. So you guys head through the forest. You're traveling for a good portion of the day. It takes about 4 to 6 hours. I would say probably closer to 6 because you're dragging a couple of injured people with you.
Makes sense.
But finally, you make your way through a thicket of heavy foliage and trees. You get to almost what looks like a wall of vines and tree trunks and heavy hedges, and it just seems to go up and up and up and up. But you can see on the other side is this gargantuan tree, just beyond this hedge line, basically.
Is there any opening?
Not that you see.
We should follow it around then and find an opening.
I agree. There's no need to break in and help them
And
stones.
no one look threatening.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Why do I keep getting singled out?
Me too.
Give me a second. I'll just make the skin not red. Oh, that's right. I can't.
I was actually gonna say.
I mean, you could wear a jacket or something.
I have a jacket on.
All right. Well then, jeez.
Is there a path that leads
We have
around,
a
or is
paper
it
bag
like?
for this.
Oh my
I mean,
god!
It follows
I didn't
around.
say
Tiny one.
The racism in this group!
Put a backpack on.
It paths around. There's not like a specific path around the outside, but you can definitely follow the wall in either direction.
Sure, we'll try to see if there's an entrance somewhere around
Are you heading left or right?
left.
I'm in the back, so I'm just following.
Yeah.
So coming from where you are, all right. Well, you head left, and unfortunately, you head left because it takes about an hour and a half to get around the entire section or base of this tree. Whereas if you went right, it was right here. But either way,
We go fearless leader.
He's really good in the forest, guys.
Bullshit!
you
God,
finally
man.
make your way around, and you see now there is this large, again an archway, this time much more ornate.
Oh.
And you can see this one is not, there's no stone. This is earthen material. This is roots of trees and like vines and thick foliage just kind of making this very ornate archway that stands
Hell yeah.
probably about 20 or 25 feet tall and comes down the sides. And as you approach, you do see there are guards
Oh, thank
there.
God. People. Civilization.
And we're all arrested.
And you hear in Elvish, halt! Who goes
I'm
there?
in the way in the back, so.
Whoa. I speak Elvish.
I hear this. I tell everybody in common.
stop, and then
I just put my hand up.
it asks us to stop. And then
Just some.
No, you're in the front. Yeah, go for it.
We just we lost our way. Our ship was attacked by something. We managed to climb through the forest. The quickest pathway was to here. It's kind of hard to miss.
Do you have injured?
Yes, several.
Bring them forward, please.
Whoever's injured, can you bring them up this way?
I walk up with Belgmin.
You walk up with Vander. They take a moment to inspect them. Make a. Are you asking for their help, or are you just saying what's going on?
Oh no, you know, like we're here, we want to come in, type deal.
Okay. Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Ooh.
Because you did the proper thing, and you didn't just rip through the vines to get to the city.
that's asshole-ish.
Only ish though.
Let's see. Alright, so the first one was persuasion.
Yes.
22.
Nice.
Thanks.
Very well. Everything appears to be in order. Are there any more hurt, injured? Are you folks all right?
Yeah, we managed to make out pretty okay. We just.
This is all gibberish to you.
Yeah, you
I'm just
to
nodding my
most
head.
of you guys who don't speak Elvish. But at this point, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I was just saying, we just have these injured, and then we have this this lady here with her child. It's all the survivors we can muster up.
And at this point, he switches to common, and he kind of addresses everybody. He says, "Please, come inside."
Oh, thank you.
Every time you talk, it's a gem.
Welcome to Everseed. We will have our healers take a look at your wounded. If you all would like a respite, you're more than welcome to stay with us. However, Everseed is a community of peace and prosperity, so I would ask that you leave your weapons.
Understood. I give them both my swords and my whip.
Leave them where? Here?
No, they'll be taken with you into the city. They'll just be held at the capital.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait, I'm confused. At the Capitol meaning?
The Capitol building.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Is there like a check-in system?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. This place is great.
We receive many tourists who come to worship Yggdrasil, many adventurers like yourselves, and while most of them are good-hearted, some of them are not. We've learned our lesson. He takes your weapon from you and he actually places it into this satchel. And as he places it into the satchel, you see this is just like a backpack, and he just whoop.
That's a fancy toy you got there.
Undetectable extension charm.
Does he react to my dwarven blade?
Huh?
Does he react to my dwarven hack blade?
No, he just when he walks up to you, he sizes you up and he just requests it.
I give him. I take the one off and I have the other one in my hand, so I can just flip it up and give it to him.
I'd also like to salute and give my rank, so to identify as military, so this way if it eventually comes up, they don't think I'm freaking trying to spy on them or anything.
Fair enough. And he goes, military. Of course.
Yeah.
Imperium?
Sir.
We work closely with them. Please, you're welcome inside.
Thank you. I don't have my weapons and everything.
He puts it in the bag. Then he comes to Raucus.
You take everyone's weapons?
Everybody's.
So
The only weapons you will see inside the city are these, and he holds out, and it's this really well-crafted spear. It's made of wood, and the tip is not metallic; it's crystalline.
Hell yeah.
Do they want my staff? Sorry.
They want my
They
stuff.
probably will,
Nice.
but first they're working
Okay,
with him.
alright.
So I extend the hammer.
Okay.
I drop it in his hand.
Okay.
Mike.
He just kind of okay, that sure.
I look at Roettger.
And he shoves it, and again your hammer. He has this bag on the floor. It's maybe a foot tall, open, and he just and it all goes into the bag, and then picks it up and slings it over. Next,
I was way in the back, so.
you miss. I'm assuming druidic in nature.
Yes.
I can tell. You give off an aura. If you would please.
Oh, what do you want from me?
Your staff, please, and if anything you would use as a focus.
Oh. It's more like a toothpick for elves. This staff is not that big.
Even so, I'm sure the things you can do with it are quite big.
Yggdrasil is that way.
I assure you, no harm will come to them, and you will receive them upon your exit of the city. But we do need to do this just to be sure everybody in the city is safe and secure. Our own citizens walk around unarmed.
At this point, I notice your hesitance, so I'm going to go up to you a bit and say, I worked with them in the war. They're very trustworthy people. Well, elves. You can trust your things with them.
Some elves.
Still people.
Well, yeah, the elves came up, or the elvish capital. I just want to say, I don't want to generalize here.
Well, no, you would know he's referring to blood elves.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take my staff. I put it in. I very begrudgingly take my rock and put it in the bag.
He sees the rock for a second. He's kind of like.
Do you want this?
He waves his hand over it. Yes, I'm afraid.
Oh. Got it.
Oh, it didn't work. It's just a rock. No, it's not.
Are they starting to like walk by, or are they just kind of standing around?
After the weapons are taken, a couple of other guards who are stationed at the gate have sort of ushered people in and are moving them through. You are the last person in line because you were lagging behind with Vander. Yeah.
So I motion his hip where his scimitar is hanging for him to take it because his arms are preoccupied.
He takes it.
And I give him my sword and I say, the Omni one, watch out for him.
Noted.
First impression is a lot.
Mr. God,
Yes.
if you don't mind me asking, what's your name, by the way?
My name?
Yes.
Althurius.
Altherius. Pleasure to meet you. Oh, I like you.
You're the only one that's done it correctly so far. I don't understand.
What? You've never done a fist bump?
See, I knew I wasn't crazy. Thank you. Oh my gosh, they all grab my fist like fucking idiots. I don't know.
What, like this?
It makes no sense at all.
Savages. No.
That's a greeting where I come from, dick.
What were you asking him?
Oh, I just wanted to know his name.
Oh, okay. Althurius. And he requests your mace.
Oh, I gave it. Yeah.
Oh,
I
right.
gave it right here.
He gave it. I think he was the first one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's so easy.
One
I
of them,
forgot.
yeah.
All right.
Sure, take it. Fine.
And Minx is actually relieved of a single dagger that none of you had seen yet.
And then they declaw him.
Belgamine takes out like 7 daggers, a sword.
Yeah, Belgamine's a level 20 rogue.
Yeah, that's like dude from Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End when they like go to the thing and Elizabeth Swann's
Yeah,
like
with every gun.
Or the Joker in the police station.
So, after a short walk, you guys are brought to the Capitol building of Everseed. It is this is a stone building, but from what you can tell, as you're looking at it and you get up close, this building was not masoned in the way you're familiar with. Normally when you're working with stone, you place a stone and then you bond it or something and you place another stone on top. This seems like it is all structurally one singular piece of stone, as if this building was just sort of raised naturally to this state.
It's amazing.
And you walk in, you see many elves, wood elves, high elves, all different, races, of just elves though. This is the elven homeland.
Yeah.
You do occasionally see the passing, what looks to be adventurer of different race. You see a human here and there. Raucous, you spot a tiefling as you walk past. They are in adventurer's garb, but just like you, they are weaponless. And they appear to be going to a temple a little bit more to the east.
Oh no, they cut your hands off.
Sure.
You guys
I'll give him.
head into the Capitol building, and it is there that everything is processed. It takes about an hour or so, but your weapons are processed. Each of you, are given a name. Your names are taken. Your weapons, what weapon has is written down. It's put in a cage, stored away. So you guys, your weapons are visible and accessible. You know that they're not being stolen from you, but they're just, you don't have them right now.
They're a lot. Yeah. That's fair.
In the meantime,
These guys know what I trust.
in the meantime, Belgamin and Vander, so Dyrus and Leon, I suppose you guys are following. They are taken to a infirmary, essentially. Yeah, it's an herbalist, natural remedies. That's what they tend to use here, and in almost no time flat, a cleric comes out.
And they clericize him.
So hand over the room.
As he starts, do I ask, do you mind if I watch?
No, by all means.
Can I take notes and try to examine what he does and see if I can get a gist for what he's doing?
Sure, absolutely. He there's a yellow stemmed plant. He crushes it up into a bowl with a pestle and mortar. He mixes this very amber liquid with it. Very little amount of it, and he just kind of mixes that all together. And then after a while, you just see him kind of smear it onto some cloth, apply it to the leg wound of Vander, and then wrap it. And he says, with some rest, the wound should be healed by the time you awake. And Vander can't believe that shit. He said, what?
Huh?
It actually feels kind of better already, but thank you.
Do you have any, if you don't mind me asking, any of that stuff for sale? I'm a cleric myself. I would.
Here, no. This is more of an infirmary to treat the sick. But if you were to head to an apothecary in town, there are several. This is yellow root. It's a common herb here, and the liquid is known as. Oh shit! What was it called?
Also, Christian, can you hit the AC off? Unless anyone else needs it on still. I feel like it's nice in here.
Leon is studying to be a Pokemon doctor.
It's too hot now. Put it back up.
Yes, the liquid is called Nectar of Vost, V-O-S-T.
Fancy.
On their own, they actually prove to be quite dangerous. One is hallucinogenic, and the other can be poisonous. But when combined, they actually cancel out each other's effects and prove to be a very apt remedy for wounds.
Well, I feel safe.
Noted.
You never
Is this
done some PCP?
a male or female doctor?
This is a female.
Doctor, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Aid of some
Herbalist.
sort. Herbalist. I just walk up to her and say, what do we owe you for them?
Oh, please. I treat the wounded here to be of service, not to make money. That's for the apothecary. She kind of giggles a bit, and she's like, no, but it's very hard to make money.
No, but it is. Seriously.
No, any and all donations are much appreciated, but we don't charge for services.
Where do we donate?
Right. She points to a small copper tin on the counter.
I just go over it. I look inside.
There's a scattering of silver, some copper, not really much.
I just, whenever she's not looking, I just drop a gold in.
Okay.
I would as well.
Fair enough.
Thank you. I can tell the difference in money.
Well, it's also the only gold thing.
And she examines Belgamin's leg too.
Or no,
Belgamin doesn't require as much treatment, really. Her leg is more bruised and damaged than it is cut open and infected. So she says, unfortunately, this is not a direct wound. There's not much I can do for it. I can splint it properly, make sure it heals properly, and rest and relaxation really should be the best course of action for her.
She'll be doing a lot of that after this is over.
I would hope so. A lady of her age. And Belgamin kind of... How dare you?
Hey, she's as strong as a horse.
No, I'm not.
Maybe a pony.
A pretty pony.
While they are at the herbalist, you guys sort of have a run of the area. Yeah. You are directed to a tavern, an inn, basically, that you could stay at if you'd like. They also direct you to the temple of worship if you'd like to go over and pray to Yggdrasil. More specifically to Andariel, the Green Speaker, the god of nature, essentially, the god of plant life.
Cool.
But yeah, you guys have the run of the town, whatever it is that you want to do.
Tavern sounds good.
Tavern?
I figured that's exactly what you were doing.
I want to look to see if I'm sure I can restock when we get back to Southpaw.
South Dawn.
Southpaw. I'm sorry.
Southpaw?
Southpaw.
Yes.
The land of lefties.
I don't know how long that's gonna be. Is there like a place where I can buy bullets or anything like that, or?
You can look around. Are you asking?
Yes.
Oh, you're asking Altharius?
Yes.
Unfortunately, no. We don't really deal in the manufacturings of bullets and weaponry here. We're
Understandable.
South Dawn would be more your best bet.
That's where I eventually need to get back to my commanders.
Well, unfortunately, I would love to help you out with that. If our teleportation circle were working, we would be able to get you there in no time. But unfortunately, there's been some troubles.
Understandable. I'm sure they're very hard to maintain. I have no idea how they work, and my God, those people who do it, aces.
Raucus, you make your way to the tavern.
Well, since that doesn't exist, I'm gonna go to the tavern with Raucus.
Sure.
Sorry.
Gotcha. No problem. So you guys head to the tavern. You have your run of it. They have some finely crafted elven brews.
Ooh, hell yeah! Let's go.
Lower alcohol content, but much better taste.
But delicious. I'll take
Better
7.
make it 3.
She goes, I'm not one to argue.
I'll drink the first one. If it does taste better, I'm actually like, oh.
It tastes significantly better than the ale you had on the ship.
I drink the second one really fast as well.
Okay, and it's nice, but you can tell it's not. This is the Mike's Hard of the drinking world. Phelan, anything?
I was going to ask if I was by the elven guy when he said there was a problem with the teleportation.
Yeah, you guys were all kind of clumped together at a Capitol building.
As they go off to the bar, can I stay behind and ask? You said you're having problems with the teleportation system? What's wrong with it?
A problem in particular. Yes, someone here, we assume, because it wasn't a visitor, absconded with our teleportation focus, a singular crystal that allowed us to essentially make use of the teleportation circle. Without it, it's rendered useless. We either have to find another one, which is proving quite difficult as they're fairly rare, or recover the one we had, which unfortunately not a lot of clues. But it's not too bad of a journey on foot to South Dawn from here. I know that's where you lot are headed. It should be 2 or 3 days time if you were on foot, maybe a day and a half if you were to take a horse and cart. We could, of course, get you there much faster, but I apologize.
Can I ask you one more question?
Of course.
Have I been to this library before with my mom at all?
This library, you have been there. Yes, you have. You were there when you were much younger.
Okay.
It's one of the more prominent libraries around. It's much more focused on the cultivation of land, farming, how to build structures and essentially industrialize an area without ruining the nature around it. And a lot of books about like healing magics as well as it's very nature-based. There's not a lot of stuff in here about wars or conflict or anything like that. At least that you were here last time with your mom that you read. It's a smaller library.
Okay. And then I was kind of sneezing and not. I was paying attention. I swear.
Sure.
When you said about the god of plants, something before.
Yes. There's a temple where you can pray at the base of Yggdrasil, and that is where. You can pray to Andariel, the Green Speaker, anywhere, but here it is said that the prayers are much more powerful, and if you have something that you truly wish the Green Speaker to hear, this is where you go to pray.
Okay, I want to go there.
Okay.
So as they depart for the bar, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go pray.
Okay. The only one around you right now is Garrett. So Garrett, you hear her saying, "I'm gonna go pray at the temple."
All right, I'm gonna see about trying to get some sort of horse and carriage, possibly get to South Dawn. I try to save as much of a trip as I can.
Did you want to come pray with me first, and then we can
No,
go together?
no, that's not my that's not my thing.
All right.
But I know where to find you, so I'll search there. And if not, I'm assuming I'll probably meet y'all at the front gate at some point.
Maybe we should meet at the bar.
The gang gets lost.
It's been a long enough trip. Maybe that won't be a bad stop before we head out. Well, that's
Sorry, I'm encroaching.
everyone said what they're doing, but
I thought it was just correction.
I'll be heading towards South Dawn by the end of the day. So see where that takes me.
Can I let them know before I because I'd like to be prepared. Is
Sure.
that wrong?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
It's hardly.
So you stop by the tavern on your way, and you see Rauckus. Now at this point, he's got about 4 cups in front of him. He's holding
That
his
was
5th.
so fast.
I'm just smirking, drinking mine, just having a good time.
Yep.
This
You're like,
makes
this
me
tastes
down.
great. Rauckus is like, it's not working fast enough.
Flowing up there, huh?
Yes, I am.
Well, they went to the bar. I would have actually liked to find the see if the town has like a place of knowledge or a library or something.
Oh yeah, there is a library. It's small, and like I said earlier, it's mainly based around healing magics, cultivating nature, things like that.
I asked the person at the front desk, could I perhaps are the books for sale or are they just for renting?
They're just for renting, but you're more than welcome to come in and read anything you like if you'd like to make, some copies or inscriptions in your
Copies?
personal books.
I can make copies?
No, if you'd like to handwrite what you read.
Oh shit.
The
Okay.
copy machine's broken with a teleport. Same crystal.
Fucking crystal,
Damn
man.
crystal, man.
Then yeah, I'd like to. I go to the section on herbs. I look up the things that he told me about, the yellow root and the nectar of Vost, and also see if there's any other things that they specifically use in their culture that could be helpful on my journey to go to the apothecary and get.
Got you. So there's a couple different things. There's a plant for removing. Hold on, I actually wrote this down because I knew you guys would be in a forest.
Hey,
Acorns.
Mm.
Damn.
nope, you were close. I think.
Pine cone.
Probably not.
Pine cone.
Pine cone. That was. It's gotta be pine cone. Is it pine
Grass.
cone?
No. There is a plant called blight root.
Well, that sounds not good.
That doesn't sound very good. at all.
It actually removes the effects of poison.
Oh, so it's like.
Suddenly the
Okay.
opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody didn't think thinking that through in the naming process.
Sounds
These elves were
dangerous.
like, you know what this should be?
Blight.
Something that sounds devious.
Death flowers, my favorite. Nom 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 nom.
They actually
They're
remove-
delicious.
But they give you kisses and make
Yeah.
you feel happy.
And then that one. Actually, I should make you make a check for this.
Okay.
Make an investigation check to check through the book and find pertinent information.
Makes
Go,
sense.
baby.
Investigation. No, let me use the other dice.
Go, baby.
So that goes.
Time money. It's a 6.
Six?
What was the other one? This is 7, so I guess that would have been better. But doesn't matter.
You look through. You managed to find the blight root, so you do find that. But unfortunately, most of the rest of the stuff here seems to be
It's an elven.
very. No, it's written in common,
Oh, nice.
Yes.
but it seems to be very specific. Like, oh, this plant will remove the effects of petrification, and it's all like you're just looking for general healing remedies, and you're not.
Ah, you missed it.
That was the
I
first
think
one.
there's like a second.
You don't
Some miles
find
down the road.
much more in the vein of that.
Okay.
This would be a great book to take with you because if you're like, oh, he's confused.
Yeah.
But right now, it's just too much and too big of a
Yeah.
book to copy down all the information.
I want to go back up to the cleric.
Mhm.
So there's no way I could give you gold like for the amount that this book would be. Like, it seems like healing's pretty common. I could use this basic knowledge.
Make a persuasion check.
Bless
Man.
you. Science.
Thank you.
Oh, this,
Bless you.
I'm ready.
Thank you.
She's allergic to your bullshit.
16.
Nailed it.
16.
Fuck off.
She goes, well,
Sorry.
all right.
That's okay.
My legs are too damn long.
We're really not supposed to do this. Place the book down on the table, please.
You get arrested
Listen
by
to
us.
She takes out this other booklet, almost around the same size. And she takes the book and your book and she kind of opens it. She takes this book and she opens it. And when she opens the one she brought out, it's just blank. It's white pages. And you see her take her hand and kind of run it over the pages.
Copy machine's not broken. Good thing I found this crystal.
And then another time she rubs it over, and as she passes her hand over the second book, you notice that immediately, almost through arcane means, there's just writing appearing on the pages. And then the book is filled. And as she takes it and she hands it to you, you look through and it's the same book.
Hell yeah.
That's so cool. Oh.
Wow.
I was so into
Hey, you're not allowed to have fun over there.
My bad. I was
It's the
so
Kevin
into that.
Gallery. Now that was...
I love you, Kevin.
Thank you. What was your name?
My name?
Sorry.
What's the
It's
librarian's name?
Altoid Mint.
What's the librarian's name?
Spicy Altioid.
Librarian's name.
Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin. Damn it.
Faust. F-A-U-S-T. Faust.
Thank you, Miss Faust. You're a wonderful,
I'm a dude.
wonderful person.
You're welcome. That will be 15 gold, please.
I should have asked the price before. That's on my fault. That's my fault. I give her the 15 gold.
It's just to cover the costs of the materials used in the spell.
Totally get it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you point me to the nearest apothecary?
Oh, yes. That's 3 doors down on your right.
Terrible man.
And anybody else?
Well, as in the infirmary, I would have said, Vander, I think you're in good hands here.
He's dead.
Where do you want to go from here? Do you want to continue on, or do you want to stay? Or go?
From what I thought, your buddy was pretty intent on taking me to South Dawn to face trial.
First of all, don't call him my buddy.
Oh, man. I'm still very intent on that.
Well, I'm here asking you now.
Me personally, I'd like to part ways and have my new life start. But at the same time,
Tell me what your new life looks like in your eyes.
I never want to see the ocean again.
Same.
Inside his head.
I want to work on a farm. I want to till the land, and I want to help people. I want to feed people. I want to earn money an honest way. I got into pirating and make a quick buck here and there, and it wasn't worth the trouble. I'd rather work hard and, make my life better than what it was than just take the easy road. But at the same time, I've done a lot of not great things. And as much as you would like to say, my new life starts here, I don't get there by ignoring what I've done in the past.
Not to bring up another sea reference, but remember the octopus.
Mm-hmm.
If an octopus is getting attacked and one of its limbs is being ripped apart, it simply removes that limb and swims away. Don't drag things with you that shouldn't be.
Well, I'm fine with that. If you can convince your acquaintance of the same.
Again, strong word.
The guy who
Fellow
you're
survivor.
traveling with. Yes. The guy
That's
who you're
pretty much as
traveling
far as
with.
I'd like to go.
That guy from the ship.
If you can convince him of the same, then that's fine. But I also know he is a man of the law. He's not going to let me go easily.
How about in the morning, you're not here?
You want me to just leave?
I didn't say that.
I'll think about it.
Well, when we come back to pick up Lady Belgamine tomorrow, and we'll pick you up if you're here. If you're not, Don't know where you're going. Don't know where you went.
Fair enough.
I smell a court martial on my part.
This is for you.
And maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Maybe, and he kind of puts his hand out to you.
Alright.
You're a good man, Dyrus.
If you're ever in Oasis, and I'm just here again, look up my family, the Arkanscapes. They'll hopefully do right by you.
I will do. Thank you.
And I walk up to the nurse, whatever you call her, herbalist, sorry, and I say, is there any traditions, cultural traditions in this town that I can partake in?
Drink.
Cultural traditions? Not really. I mean, almost everybody here is a worshiper of Andariel, the Green Speaker.
Oh, I'd love to pay a visit to your place of worship.
Oh, the
Pay my
temple.
respects.
The temple is directly next to the Capitol building. You can't miss it. It's large and green.
Will do. You've done excellent work here. We'll be back in the morning.
I'll make sure that they stay put and stay safe.
They're free. They're free people. There's no need to.
I just meant to heal.
Right. Yes, of course. And then I head off to wherever that is, the temple.
Okay. You start making your way to the temple. As you go, make a perception check.
Woohoo!
Oh
He
no.
robbed you.
11.
11. It's not that hard to see because it's making kind of a scene. But as you're walking, you do see several more of those guards exiting a building. And as they come out of the building, you see a familiar sight walking behind them. Manacled in chains
God damn it.
with a wing
Oh, there
behind
we
him,
go.
shattered on one side.
We found him, boys.
You see Erik,
Damn, you gotta go fast.
the bird person.
Oh, I'm sorry. Retroactively, I just wanted to say I gave Vander 2 gold, and I said just to get you started.
Oh.
And that's all. Yeah, but go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He tucks it away. And you see Erik, the birdie gentleman from earlier on the ship that you assumed was lost to the sea. He's disheveled, covered in mud.
And he's a prisoner again.
He's a prisoner again.
Fuck, we're good, dude.
Seems like a nice guy.
As he's walking through town, you can hear him arguing with the guards. No, but why? But in mine!
Oh my god.
And
I'm so
I'm
inclined to just be like,
Just
walk
I
back.
don't know.
is actually where we're going to leave off for this week.
all right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
God damn it, stop getting yourself caught.
Ending it a little early, but we didn't take a second break.
That's true.
And if we go any more, there might take longer than
We don't need
we're
sleep.
ready for.
Sleep is
Some
for
people
weak.
need sleep.
Keep going,
Okay.
people.
I was gonna leave. I'm so sorry, but I've just been yawning and falling asleep over here.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
How dare you?
There wasn't much further we could go without it being another hour and a half more. So,
I see no issue.
thank you guys so much for joining us.
When are we gonna be back?
We're gonna be back next Wednesday,
Oh yeah.
of course.
Oh. Okay.
Next
always.
Wednesday.
How can
This video is going to be up on Tuesday on YouTube, youtube.com. The Critical Miss 3. We're
No,
on,
no,
just
just
the
the
Critical Miss
We
on
got rid of the
YouTube.
3 like 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
like, we got rid
Still
of that.
feels
What a
like
loser!
I just want to point out that when I type in the Critical Miss 3 in YouTube, we still show up as that.
You don't have to.
But if you also just search the Critical Miss, it also comes up.
There you go.
What about 2?
Tuesday will be on there.
Tuesday.
Thank you again to Naomi, our artist, for doing our character portraits.
If you're watching,
Again,
you're awesome.
Thank you guys
Everything
at home
awesome.
for watching, supporting us on Twitch, on Patreon. You guys are incredible. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Kevin, our man in sound.
Thank you, Kevin.
Kev Dog!
Kevin, I'm
Ginger!
What was the last name?
Ginger
Cedarhurst.
Cedar!
My
Ginger
first award
Cedarhurst.
name will be Ginger Cedarhurst.
Oh man, Ginger
and-
Cedarhurst, the
Tell your
engineer.
friends, tell your parents, tell your grandparents to watch the stream.
Yes.
And hide your kids.
And
Hide
then
your wife.
And thank you to
If you wanna
Amanda
donate
Pye, our
money, go
subscriber,
into your parents'
who bidded us earlier, or what is it?
Rose-
Yeah, Rosewell was
Rosewell?
one of the top bidders. We also had a little bit from Trumpet Richie.
Hey.
The usuals, yeah, a lot of the usuals.
All of you are
Well, thanks to
amazing.
all of you. Yeah.
We love
Thank
no
you so much,
faces.
and I can't wait for next Wednesday. See you next time
Kevin.
on The Critical Miss.